Life will sometimes just pull the rug out from under you. People you knew you could trust leave. Your dreams that you built with your own hands fall apart. The worst part is, no one ever gives an answer. When things don't make sense and feelings of anger, confusion and sadness fill your heart, a harsh question starts to scream inside you. What's going on with me? You're not here by accident tonight. You came across this video for a reason, because somewhere deep in all that pain, failure and loss is a lesson that you were meant to hear. It could change the way you see everything for good. Buddhism doesn't tell lies or tell fairy tales. It gives you the truth, raw, freeing, strong truth. It shows that every broken heart, closed door, and unfair turn was not a sentence, but a part of a bigger story that your soul picked out a long time ago. If you stick around until the end, you'll find out what every broken moment in your life really means. You'll never carry your pain the same way again after seeing it. Let's start. When you hear certain facts, you can never go back. One of them is that nothing that happens to you is a coincidence. Not the broken hearts, betrayals, or even the good breaks that seem to appear out of nowhere. There's a secret plan stitched into every single event. There is a design that you can't see, but is real as the air you breathe. Also, you're not here by accident tonight. You're here because you're ready to see that pattern for the first time. What if every painful moment was a seed you planted a long time ago? You had to go through pain not because you earned it, but because that seed had a lesson that could only grow in the right space. With every move, word, and decision you make, you plant a seed in the vast soil of existence. Some seeds grow right away. Others fall very deep into the ground and sleep there until the right time to come out. Things don't get lost in life. Things don't forget. Life is the most exact gardener you'll ever meet. Many people think that the problems we face today are unrelated, that you just had bad luck, that life doesn't like you. But look further. Every moment of happiness you've ever had started as a seed. Every betrayal was once a ripple that you helped send out, even if it happened a very long time ago. It's not a punishment. It's not payback. This is just the field giving back what was sown. Karma isn't about who is to blame. It has to do with how cause and effect work with surgical accuracy beyond what our memories can hold. Think about a field you planted as a kid but forgot about. After years, strange foods start to show up. You could be lost or even mad, but the fruits are easy to figure out. Their only goal is to follow the call of the seeds you carelessly sowed into the ground. Kindness is the same. Things that were planted will grow when the time is right, even if you don't remember them. This karma map isn't just about events like marriage, death, or success. There are also little unseen parts where it weaves itself in. When you were about to give up and a stranger smiled at you. The chance that came up 5 minutes after you chose to trust the path once more. You had to stop living small after that loss, but it didn't destroy you. These events are not chance. These are karmic sounds that are coming back to you at just the right frequency to touch your soul. Just look at your present life to find out what your past lives have taught you. Look at the choices you are making right now to see how they will affect your future. At first, that can feel like a heavy fact. It might make you want to feel guilty or blame others. Do not, though. Karma won't hold you back. It's here to wake you up. To be honest, fate is not a locked-up prison. The field is alive, changes, it takes in air, and every time you breathe, you send out new seeds. If you change how you live today, you can change your whole future. Some seeds won't budge. They come from past lives, family lines, or the energy of everyone on the planet. But new seeds can soften even those. Be patient, feeling sorry, to forgive. Bravery. The roots of these new seeds go deep into the hard ground of your past and begin to break up the old stiff patterns. You are changing your whole karma garden little by little, breath by breath. This is why the worst times happen right when you need to grow. The karmic plan tells you what to crack next, not to hurt you, to set you free. It's the best kind of cruel love. It breaks down the things that aren't helping you anymore, so that the next part of your life has room to grow. Think about the strong people you look up to, the wise ones whose eyes shine and whose bodies are calm. Do you really think that life spoiled them and made them that way? Not at all. They walked through bad weather. They were split open. They sobbed in the dark. They lost something they thought they would die without. They also planted new seeds during those nights of chaos. These were seeds of strength, grace, and real grounded power. Karma changes over time. It's not just stuck in the past, ready to strike. You can move it. It changes based on how you handle life. When you react to pain with anger and hate, you make it worse. When you face the past with forgiveness and fierce love, you plant the seeds of freedom for yourself and everyone who comes after you. What's another secret that karma holds? Not all the seeds that grow in your life were placed by you. Some of them came from ancestors you've never met. Some of these traits were built into your DNA by the people in your family who lived before you. Still, you have the power to choose, to break out of old habits, to get rid of old wounds, to leave the yard the way you found it for those who come after you. Even the times when you're having trouble are not random. Life is watching you. Life knows how you feel. It can tell when you are not ready for certain lessons. It waits. It lets you quietly get stronger until one day it gives you a situation that is so well-timed that you almost think the world is working with you instead of against you. Understand this. Your karmic plan is not meant to destroy you when a door shuts in your face, when you feel betrayed, or when you fail so badly that you question everything. It's setting you free. It gets rid of things that need to go so that your real self, the part of you that is limitless, can finally breathe. Masters of Buddhism say that when karma ripens, it shows you your hidden strengths and where you need to do your next job. No, not as a penalty. In a clear and direct way. It's life giving you the exact thing you need to grow into the next version of yourself. The karmic blueprint also tells us why some prayers don't seem to be heard. It's not that life doesn't hear you. It's because some seeds are still not blooming. Some crops need more time, more sun, or more rain. If some gifts came too soon, they would break your heart. They won't come to you until you're ready to hold them with open, steady hands. It's not weak to be patient. At this point in time, patience is skill. It's trust. When you know that every breath, every tear, and every quiet act of kindness you do changes something big that you can't see. When the time is right, It will break through the surface of your life, and you'll know why you had to wait. Karmic fear doesn't have to rule your life. Being perfect isn't something you have to do all the time. You only need to be aware. When you talk, be awake. When you act, be awake. When you have to choose between anger and mercy, fear and love, be awake. For as long as you are awake, you are building a future that you will be happy to inherit. You are not in the hands of fate. You are an active part of making life happen, and your honest actions, kind words, and quiet prayers for other people's happiness are heard more than you think. It changes the flow of water. It makes things better. It makes a future that is bigger than what you can see now. You would be amazed at how beautiful your life is if you could see it from above, with all of its bright and dark times and invisible threads that tie everything together. Nothing was lost, not a chance thing, nothing that doesn't make sense. There is no pain in the world tonight that can break you. These things are meant to make you stronger, deeper, and braver than you ever thought possible. You are planting seeds of patience, trust, and quiet courage tonight. Who knows? Maybe those seeds will grow into a future more beautiful than any dream you thought you lost. Do not give up on this trip. What lies ahead will take you even further. Next, we'll talk about the truth that will change the way you see your life and everyone else's. The river of interdependence connects all events, heartbreaks, and coincidences. This current shows that nothing is useless or stands alone. Listen again. Your journey has been a river, and soon you will see it. The blueprint that is being built under your feet and the seeds that you placed are only parts of the story. In addition to personal fate, there is something even bigger going on that affects the very structure of reality. Take your eyes off of your own field and look at the huge, live river that connects all living things. There you can see it clearly, because the truth is bigger and better than anything you were taught. One event does not make a story. There is no loss, success, heartbreak, or miracle that happens by itself. Everything you go through is the result of 1,000 unseeable factors coming together at the same time. All of it is handmade. Everything is shared. In real life, things don't just happen one after the other. Every drop in life touches every other drop. Another cause here, another cause there. It's like a wave that goes through time and space that you can't fully see with your mind, but can really feel when you stop moving. There is no separation. That dark night of loneliness wasn't caused by just one bad day. It was caused by many bad experiences, the lack of certain voices, and the weight of decisions made by others and yourself, all of which built up until they hit you like a wave. When someone helped you out of the blue, it wasn't just one act of kindness. It was 100 quiet acts of kindness moving through the world until they reached you when you needed them the most. Everything that happens is caused by more than one thing. The thing someone says to you now could be the pain they sucked up 10 years ago. If someone was kind to a stranger you will never meet, they might repay you with the chance that came your way. It wasn't luck that you almost got into an accident. Invisible networks of timing, space, decision, and intuition made an endless number of changes, which all came together at just the right fraction of a second to protect you. Life isn't a mess. It's impossible to keep track of everything in life. Even the events you thought were just terrible had hidden causes that went back to many lives and choices. Your sadness didn't just happen. It was fed by family patterns, social stories, and unhealed wounds that were passed down quietly from generation to generation until they found you and begged to be faced and healed at last. The deception that broke your trust wasn't just the fault of one person. It was about how their fear, the traumas they never talked about, and the stress they were under all came together in one hurtful act that you now have the chance to change. People don't have to suffer alone, as the river of interdependence shows. Someone else might be able to heal tomorrow because of the tears you cry tonight. Being brave enough to speak out today could help a stranger you'll never meet. And your choice to forgive, even if it doesn't seem like it, could end a long line of hate that goes back hundreds of years. The river is affected by everything we do, think, and say. You're more important than you think. Your kindness will be felt for a long time. Buddhist masters from long ago said that if you pull on one thread, you pull on everything. Nothing can live on its own. A tree can't grow without soil, sun, rain, and the many bacteria that feed its roots. It also can't grow without the wind bringing its seeds and the birds that spread its life further than it could on its own. Both you and that tree are part of the world. You are not different from it. You are everything. Right now, you are the echo of all the good things and hard things that have happened in the past. There are other people who suffer when you suffer. It's the weight of 1,000 unwritten stories coming together in your body and asking to be heard and healed. It's not just your happiness that makes you laugh. It's the blooming of happiness that our ancestors fought for because they dared to dream of a better life. You're never by yourself, not even for a second. This knowledge doesn't take away your pain. It gives it respect. It gives your broken heart a place to live in a much bigger story. It shows you that your sadness is not a sign of weakness, but rather a part of the river that is moving toward awakening and making new tracks through the mountains of old pain. The water is also smart. Not a single drop is wasted. Not your tears, not your faults, not even the worst parts of your life. You can fight the river, curse the waves, or dislike the currents. You can also learn to believe it. No matter how dark it is or how far away the shore is, you can learn to float. Giving up doesn't mean you trust the river. Being aware that even your problems are leading you to a place you can't see yet, a place more beautiful than your wildest dreams could create. The river of interdependence also shows that it doesn't help to pass the blame. When you know how many things can lead to an event, it makes no sense to blame just one person or even yourself. If you blame the last drop of rain for the flood, you're wrong. Everything is linked. Things were moving for a long time before the big moment. Your job is not to blame other people. Your job is to live with open eyes and hearts and to see and feel more. From this point of view, compassion comes naturally. How can you hate someone when you know they are stuck in the same river and being tossed around by the same storms you can't see? How can you judge someone when you know that their meanness comes from hurts and fears that have been passed down for generations? This doesn't mean that harm is okay. It means getting it straight and reacting with understanding instead of anger. It means not adding more harm to the water that everyone uses. It also teaches patience along the river of interdependence. Some waves don't come back for years. If you put some seeds today, they might not bloom until a long time after you're gone. You might never know how much your kindness, forgiveness, and strength have helped others. But it's important. It matters all the time. Every act of kindness that goes into the river makes it stronger as a whole. What you do is more important than you think. A smile on a bad day for someone you don't know. A quiet prayer for someone you don't like. There was a time when being honest would have been easier than lying. These aren't little things. They are like anchors thrown into the storm. One person at a time, they help keep the world steady. Being thankful is what you do naturally when you see the river. Feel thankful for all the days, not just the good ones. Thankfulness for the hands that helped you when you fell. Thankfulness for all the heartbreaks that made your heart bigger than fear ever let it get. Thank you for letting me have even a small part in this huge and strange story of life. Being thankful doesn't mean acting like everything is fine. It means giving in to the unknown no matter how much it hurts. It means having faith that the river knows where it's going, even if your head tells you otherwise. Instead of seeing yourself as a separate island, cut off and by yourself, you start to see yourself as a part of the live, breathing ocean. This makes you feel a strange peace. Storms are still happening. It's still painful to lose. What's going on around you isn't changing, though. You're being held by a steady stream. You were never left alone. We will never forget you. That which you are a part of is so huge, so linked, and so incredibly beautiful that words can hardly describe it. You're not by yourself. You've never been by yourself. You never will be. Everything changes now that I know this. It changes how you deal with other people. You treat yourself differently after that. It changes the way you walk all through the night. It prompts you to remember that each step, mistake, win, lose, cry, and laugh is significant. It all sends out waves that last forever. That's why nothing is pointless. There is no meeting. Don't say goodbye. No chance meeting in a busy street. Not a word was left out. There is no small act of kindness. Your life and the future you are helping to shape are made up of things that flow together and cross into each other. You are more careful with your words after knowing this. Be more aware of what you're doing, more gentle with other people's hearts, because you know that everything you do is connected to the water. Every act of love makes it stronger. Every evil act makes it worse. The river always comes back. As you drift off to sleep tonight, know this: you are not by yourself. You're not a mistake. There are many things that make up life itself, and you are a part of them all. Have faith in the river. Add your bravery to it. Add your kindness to it. It will change the world into something more beautiful than any of us can see right now. Let it carry you. You understand that even loss has its place when you see the river that runs through everything, and not just as something to get through. Even though it hurts, loss often comes with a fierce kindness that only comes out over time. Things that fall away in life aren't always taken away from you because they're mean. They are sometimes carefully taken away because they were in the way of the road you were supposed to follow. Sometimes the things you hold on to the most are the ones that, if they stayed, would choke your inner life. Loss doesn't always mean bad things for you. It comes to clear the way for your real growth to take place. It comes to cut down the false buildings you thought were safe, It comes to break down the lies you used to build your identity. It's here to break the lies that kept you asleep. Deep down, you know it had to happen, even though it hurts and leaves you gasping. In some situations, holding on is more dangerous than letting go. People, places, and things that drain your spirit, dreams that don't fit your growing soul, and identities that hold you back instead of helping you grow, are those things that life steps in and takes away. And life isn't kind when you need kindness. When life takes away something you refuse to give up, it doesn't say sorry. Because kindness isn't always gentle. Mercy can feel like sadness sometimes. Protection can feel like deception sometimes. Loss takes away everything that makes you who you are. It takes away the masks, clothes, and stories you told yourself to make yourself feel safe, important, and respected. It makes you feel raw, open, and vulnerable. And it is in that rawness that real change starts. You would stay stuck without the loss. The person you were before the loss would still be inside you, but it would never be able to handle the weight of the life you were meant to live. Take a moment to remember the times you lost something important to you. Work, a friendship, a place to live, a sense of being sure. At first, there is no ground. You trip and fall. You have doubts about everything. You get angry about how unfair things are. But if you stay in the nothingness for long enough, strange things start to happen. Where there used to be weakness, new power grows. Where there was blindness, there is now new sight. Where fear used to choke you, new freedom now breathes. Destroy is not the same as loss. Loss makes new things. Loss is the fire that gets rid of the false so that the true can stay. And being comfortable doesn't make you stronger. Real power comes from being broken, being quiet, and putting yourself back together from pieces you didn't think could fit again. Life takes things away from you sometimes, not to punish you, but to keep you safe from risks you couldn't see. The person who broke your heart could have saved you from a life of slow, spiritual death. You might have been able to avoid a future you would have hated if you had not missed that chance. It's possible that the rejection that made you feel bad saved your pride for something better, something you couldn't even imagine at the time. At first, pain makes you blind. It's hard to see the bigger act of kindness. It makes you swear at the sky and wonder what you're worth. But over time, if you're ready to stay open, you start to see compassion, even in the things that hurt you the most. You start to understand that losing something that wasn't really yours was the first step to getting something that could never be taken away. When you let go of an illusion, it makes room for a greater truth. When you let go of a false dream, a real calling can come through. For each broken bond you grieve, you make room in your heart for freedom to grow. You learn who you are without your titles, awards, or crutches when you lose something. Your real power lies in who you are beneath all of that. It's harsh because the compassion of loss won't let you stay small. It will not let you mistake comfort for life. You can't hold on to dreams that were made out of fear instead of courage. It breaks down everything that can't handle the weight of your soul's real need. It doesn't wait for your okay either. It moves when the time is right, when the old story needs to die so that a newer, more true story can be born. When you lose something, it shows you where you tried to make deals with life. It shows the deals you made to keep growth from happening. It points out the places you tried to hide from your own power. After that, it lights a match and burns those hiding places to the ground without notice, not to leave you without a home, but to push you into the wild, where you can find your true home, which is made of inner strength, courage, and submission. When you have nothing to lose, you feel free. Being clear is something that you can only get when the lies are gone. If you let it, loss can teach you more than anything else. It could be the thing that breaks the chains you didn't even know you were wearing. You can get what you want, but only if you give up what you already have. It's holy to be sad. It is holy to mourn what was lost. Ignoring your pain is not a sign of strength. To be truly strong, you have to feel your sadness fully, let it tear your heart open, and still trust that the tearing wasn't pointless. Still deciding to believe that something greater is being carved out of you, a new ability to live, a new kindness, a new know-how. You can do something when you lose something important. You can either let the loss make you who you are or make you better. You can build walls to keep yourself safe from more pain, or you can build links to a fuller life. You can curse the loss as cruel and pointless, or you can accept it as a hard but necessary gift. When you lose something, you learn how to give up. Not giving up because you lost, but because you lost trust. Be sure that life is taking care of itself, even when you don't. Believe that your soul can grow even when your head says it's over. Trust that the empty space you feel right now is not a grave, but a yard ready for new plants. Life will sometimes show you the most kindness by not giving you what you want. When your prayer isn't answered, your dream doesn't come true, or the door slams so hard that you can't even pretend you were supposed to walk through it, goodness can be found. Your soul is smarter than what you want. There's a part of you that knows why you're here, even when your mind has forgotten. Loss changes you. It shakes you out of ways that would have kept you in tighter cages. It cracks your heart open so the light inside can finally shine. You have to trust in things you can't see in the compassion of loss. To believe that just because you can't see the message right now, that doesn't mean there isn't one. To believe that one day, maybe years from now, you'll remember this loss and be grateful that life didn't let you settle for less than you were meant to have. There is real pain. Sadness is real. There is anger. It's all right. Feel everything. But don't let that keep you from seeing the greater mercy that is hidden in the loss. Do not let it make you think that life is unfair, because the truth is much more painful and beautiful. Life is forgiving in ways that your mind can't even believe. Sometimes it doesn't look the way you want it to. You will realize that the things you lost were exactly what you needed to let go of in order to be free. You will understand one day that the emptiness you were afraid of was actually the way to a fuller, deeper life. You will one day be thankful for the losses that broke you. You will know that nothing was ever taken from you without something better being given in return when that day comes. Not the way you thought it would be, not in the way you thought you wanted. More deeply, though, in a way that doesn't lead to comfort, but to awakening. You learn to let go when you lose something, but the next step in your growth needs you to do something even harder. It tells you to look at the people who hurt you the most, the things that got in your way, and the events that made you feel low on pride, and see something you didn't expect. It wasn't a mistake. The mistakes were not mine. They were unseen teachers who were put right in front of you to teach you things that nothing else could have. They did what they did not because they were smart or skilled, but because life itself knew what you needed to wake up. And as you are learning, waking isn't always easy. Most of the time, the people who hurt you the most are holy and don't even know it. They bring up parts of you that you thought were hidden. They press on the cuts you tried to hide. They bring up the anger, sadness, or fear that you were afraid to face. They give you a cruel gift when they do this. They show you the parts of yourself that are still stuck in fantasy. Since they didn't put any pressure on you, lied to you, or rejected you, you might have kept hiding behind masks that were slowly killing you. Obstacles and enemies are like mirrors. They show you what you have built up in your mind without realizing it. They show you the places where you still need approval, want power, or hold on to stories about what kind of person you should be. Someone is removing a layer of your ego that was built on shaky ground every time they insult, ignore, or leave you. It feels personal and like an attack, but it's really a call to go deeper, to let go of who you think you are, and to find a strength that doesn't need to be defended. People you dislike the most are often the ones who teach you the hardest lessons. You had to face your standards about loyalty because of the friend who lied to you. The boss who made you feel bad about yourself made you face how your identity is linked to success. The person who broke up with you made you look at the false ideas you had about love and worth. These events break down the shallow definitions you held on to, leaving you naked, raw, and painfully alive. And in that honesty, a greater self is waiting to be born, one that isn't tied to what other people think, do, or say about them. Because your mind doesn't want to grow, the unseen teachers come to you dressed as enemies. Comfort is hard to resist. Being familiar is appealing. You wouldn't have a reason to question the lies you live by if there were no problems, no stress, and no pain. There is no growth in the ego. The ego wants to stay alive. The soul wants to be free. And to be free, you often have to break down all the lies you told yourself to keep yourself safe. The Buddhist masters said that your worst enemy is your best friend, because they make you practice real kindness, patience, and understanding, not just when things are going well, but also when you just want to give up. Compassion is just an idea if you don't have any enemies. Patience is still just a wish when there are no problems. If someone doesn't hurt you, you can't forgive them. You can only talk about it. The teachers who aren't seen bring the practice to life. It's pushed into your bones. They make it happen. What gets in the way of your dreams can also teach you something. They're not just random walls. They are exact tools that life puts in your path to redirect your energy, slow you down when your pride gets in the way of your wisdom, and make you humble when your desire makes you lose sight of your deeper needs. And when you hit a wall, you can either slam into it out of anger and hatred, or you can sit down, listen, and ask yourself, what is this wall trying to teach me about myself? The problem is sometimes there because the time is not right. It's sometimes there because your dream is still based on fear, vanity, or nervousness, and it needs to be cleaned up before it can grow. An obstacle can keep you from going down a road that looks beautiful at the moment, but would have destroyed your soul if you had gone down it. The thing in the way is not your enemy. There is a guardian at the doorway to a greater life. You will suffer more if you fight your enemies and other problems. The invisible masters are trying to break down ego structures, but resistance makes them stronger. Anger, blame, and anger make the illusions stronger instead of weakening them. You break the pattern when you soften, when you let yourself feel the pain fully without making up new stories of hate or being a victim. You let the lesson come in. You give everyone a chance to heal. When you start to see your life this way, you feel grateful in a very strong way. A deeper kind of thankfulness, not the kind that acts like everything is fine when it's not. This kind of gratitude knows that the pain is necessary for your freedom. Before you knew it, the people who hurt you the most were making a way for you to get back to yourself. You start to understand that the things you cursed saved you from 1,000 quiet deaths of the spirit. This doesn't mean you have to stay friends with bad people. This doesn't mean you have to stay in settings that make you feel bad. To learn something, you have to sometimes just walk away. Saying no in a clear, strong voice is sometimes the lesson. That being said, you can walk away and protect yourself without being angry. That's possible if you're thankful for what you were taught, even if it was painful. It's not about denying the harm that was done when you forgive someone. When you forgive someone, you stop carrying the poison forward. You need to see the unseen teachers for what they really were, tools for your awakening, not statements about how valuable you are. When you forgive, the last thing that holds you to the hurt is broken. You leave the story of the victim and enter the story of the maker. When you look more closely, you can see that even the worst times in your life had the potential to change you. You learned to trust your inner voice over promises made by other people after being broken-hearted. Being rejected and feeling ashamed taught you that your worth comes from being yourself, not from being liked. You learned that you can get through endings and still find new starts after a terrible loss. The masters you can't see are always there because your soul is always growing. The soul doesn't rest. Comfort isn't enough for the soul. As long as the light is shining on the fantasy, it will push, break, and stretch. It gets the job done with everything it has, even your enemies, your mistakes, and your darkest nights. This is how your life will look if you could see it all. You would be amazed. You'd see that nothing went to waste. Not a single breakup, not a single lie, not a single fail. Everything was making you into a person who could really love, be free, and be brave. It was all about getting rid of the false so that the real could rise. The teachers who can't be seen will keep showing up. Things will keep coming up in life as long as there are layers of ego to dissolve. Each one is rougher, sharper, and stranger than the last. It's not that life doesn't love you, it loves you too much to let you stay small. You have forgotten how big you are inside, but life sees it. Even if you have given up on yourself, life will remember how free you can be. You are not a victim of the people you hate. You are not a loser because you are having trouble. You are a soul that is going through holy training. And the bumps on your body don't mean you're weak. They show that you are changing into something strong, soft, and unbreakable. When you next meet someone who makes you feel the most angry or scared, remember that this is not a coincidence. Allow me to invite you. It's a mirror. Now is your chance to be more honest with yourself than ever before. You will find that the person you thought was breaking you was actually giving you the key to your next level of freedom if you meet it with even a little understanding and softness. Most of the time, the hardest teachers look like enemies. But there is one teacher who is even harder to deal with than betrayal, rejection, or loss. It moves slowly. It doesn't say anything. It checks every part of you without you having to say a word. This is the lesson of having to wait, be patient, and be stuck between what you want and what you fear. And it's not there to hurt you, just like the phantom enemies. It's there to make you better. Because your mind has been trained to link waiting with failing, it makes you feel like you've been left behind. You make plans, set goals, and chase results. But when nothing happens, doors stay locked, and your prayers seem to go up in the air. Doubt starts to grow inside you. What if waiting doesn't mean there is no progress, though? What if waiting is a secret work that is going on below ground that the mind can't see? The mirror of delay shows you parts of yourself that you can't see any other way. Again, it shows how desperate you are. Life's hidden deals are shown to you by this. It shows how much trust you had in them if they got what they wanted quickly. It also asks, can you trust now, even though everything seems to be over? When all of your plans fall apart, can you still believe in a deeper timing? Having to wait is not a punishment. Waiting is getting ready. When you wait, the ground beneath your feet is softly and slowly turned, putting pieces together that you can't see yet. When you put seeds in the heart, they need darkness to grow. Before anything shows up above ground, roots grow in silence. When you're patient, you don't just do nothing. It's taking in air that can't be seen. It keeps your heart beating even when everything else stays still. The mind hates having to wait because it makes it lose control. The mind wants promises, plans, and proof. Life isn't a machine, though. It's a live river, so you can't make it flow in a certain way. You get angry, bitter, and hopeless when you try to control time. Giving up control over time makes you more open, strong, and resilient. In your life, think about times when you really wanted something to happen, but it didn't. It could have been love. It may have been a success. It might have helped. You got angry. You cried. You had doubts. But when everything came together in the end and the right door opened, you knew the wait had been worth it. The delay kept you safe. The wait helped you grow up. The wait built up the ground so that you could hold the gift without breaking it when it came. Life puts off things that would hurt you if they came too soon. Life puts off things that would be too much for you to handle if they came at you before your roots were strong enough to support them. Life pushes back things that would have fed your ego instead of your soul. Delay is not mean. It keeps you safe. It's kindness that looks like emptiness. You have to look at where you've put your worth in the mirror of delay. If you can't be happy until you reach your goals, then happiness was never free. It had to follow certain rules. Being free means being able to stand in the middle of nothing and still be able to feel your breath. Real power is being able to say, I am whole, even when things aren't going well. I'm enough. I'm still living. When you wait, you learn to love the process more than the reward. It teaches you to take pleasure in the journey, not just the prize at the end. It shows you that what you become while you wait is more important than what you get in the end. If you don't have patience, success is just a fake win. If you don't have patience, love is just another thing you own. Without waiting, healing is just another thing to be proud of instead of a real change. The waiting is what makes you who you are. During the waiting, faith is put to the test and grown stronger. You learn to give up without giving up while you're waiting. To trust without always having proof. In order to breathe without promises. Being patient is not a passive thing. It needs you to be there. It makes you pay attention to little things. It asks you to live fully, even if the big things aren't done yet. You are asked to find beauty in what is broken, incomplete, or in the middle. It tells you to stop getting your worth from how fast you climb and start getting it from how much you love while you're still. Every time you have to wait, new seeds grow inside you. Seeds of strength, some seeds of clarity, seeds of kindness. Roots get stronger the longer you wait. The tree can grow taller when the time comes if its roots are deep enough. Without waiting, you would grow too quickly, die too quickly, and fall with the first strong wind. The mirror of delay also shows what you're attached to. You are not free if you can only feel happy when certain things happen. You are trapped by your situation. People who are patient learn to find their joy in deeper things, like the act of living and the quiet knowledge that they are being carried even when they can't see the currents. Picture the most beautiful trees you've ever seen. The quiet ones that stand tall above everything else. You can't see their power. Their strength is not in the trees that you can see, but in the roots that go deep into the ground and spread out wide. It took years for those roots to grow, years of work not seen, years of slow, careful growth below the surface. When the storms came, not the largest trees were the ones that made it through. The trees with the deepest roots were the ones that did it. It takes time to grow roots. Delay is making you stronger in ways you can't see. Delay is getting you ready to hold gifts that weak foundations could never hold. It's hard to be patient in a world that is always on the go. You should hurry up because everything tells you to. You should always go faster. Get things done fast. Love quickly. Get better quickly. But real life laughs quickly. For real, depth is more important than speed. Being honest over looking good. More substance than sparkle. Being patient means being humble. You have to admit that you're not in charge of time, that there are forces at work that are stronger than your own will, that life is smart, has its own rhythms, and has its own seasons. You don't become weak when you give up on that. You get in sync. Stop spending time and energy trying to stop the flow. You start to move with it and trust that it will take you where you need to go. You can be a quiet reformer when you learn to be patient. When everyone else wants something right away, you choose depth. You choose presence in a society that is focused on results. In a world obsessed with speed, you choose the old knowledge of slow growth, preparation that can't be seen, and quiet unfolding. And being patient pays off in a big way. They are very big. The right door stays open after it opens. When the right love comes along, it feeds instead of drains. When you finally find your true calling, it feels like a second skin. There was no force. Nothing was taken, nothing empty. Everything is real. Everything earned. It is harsh in the mirror of delay because it shows you how much of your pain is caused by your restlessness, how much pain you cause by making life follow your rules, but it also shows you the back door. Waiting becomes holy when you stop wanting and start trusting. The waiting itself turns into a holy place where miracles are quietly happening. It's not a sign of weakness to hold on to your dreams. It means to hold them lightly, trusting that if they are real dreams, they will come true at the right time for them. Having faith that if they fall away, it's because something even better is being planned for you. There is no avoiding you in life. Life isn't being mean to you. Life is making you ready. Life is making you stronger so that you can get what you want without being crushed by it. And the process of building can take longer than you'd like. You are getting ready for a life you can't handle yet. You are getting stronger so that you can handle the gifts that would break a weaker you. You are getting stronger for a love, a calling, or a freedom that needs your whole best self. You learn that you are enough just by waiting for the good things to come. You are already good enough, even if your hands are empty. That you are whole already, even if everyone else tells you to prove it. If you are patient today, you will be able to stand on that patience tomorrow. The confidence you build in the quiet will give you the strength to get through the storms. The depth you build during the seasons that can't be seen will become your light when it's time to rise. Do not give up. Do not harden. Keep your door open. In the same way that seeds break open underground, roots spread out under the ground without being seen, and stars form in the dark center of the universe, your life is growing in ways that you can't see yet. Don't wait for your time. Wait for life's right time. Everything you've been waiting for will happen with such power and grace that it will be well worth the wait. You learn to believe the unseen when you wait, but there is another test that is even tougher to swallow. There is a test of sorrow in it. The things you did wrong, the roads you wish you hadn't taken, and the words you wish you could take back, come back to haunt you like ghosts from the past, telling you that you failed, that you ruined something valuable, and that you are too broken to fix. What if sorrow is not a failure in and of itself? What if it's part of the awakening you came to live? Even your worst mistakes might not have been meant to destroy you, but to make you ready for a truth you couldn't have found any other way. The cosmic timing of regret shows that people don't make mistakes by chance. They take place just when they need to. They happen when you have to let go of your old self, but haven't born your new self yet. They happen when the soul, tired of pretending, finally stumbles upon a new way of seeing, right where ignorance and knowledge meet. The pain of regret is so deep that it feels like justice. It shows you how stupid, selfish, proud and scared you are. It shows you the harm you caused, the chances you missed, and the love you let slip away. But there is something else moving beneath the shame, the sadness, and the self-blame. The birth of awareness. The best time to see something you couldn't see before is when you make a mistake. They are timed not to ruin your life, but to break the lies that kept you stuck. Your ego would stay big and dumb if you didn't make mistakes. You would keep going down the wrong roads, hold on to false hopes, and build your life on empty victories if you didn't make mistakes. When mistakes happen, they stop the spread of lies. The towers that were built on sand fell down. I think that when you look back on your life, the things that really helped you grow were the things that you failed at. It wasn't your accomplishments that made you humble. It was being made fun of. It wasn't the easy wins that taught you kindness. You had to live with the weight of the times you hurt other people. It wasn't the easy ways that made you smarter. The roads were so bad that you swore you would never make it. Regret doesn't have to break you down. It's there to make room for a deeper, more authentic self to show itself. If you didn't feel sorrow, your heart would stay weak. If you didn't feel sorrow, you wouldn't know much about love. Without sorrow, you wouldn't really understand how other people feel when they're going through hard times. As you grow up, you often have to make bad choices because you haven't learned how to step into your new self yet. But the things you think will save you, status, pleasure, acceptance, and power, don't work out. When you fail, you have to face the truth. What you were after was never real, never enough, or yours even in the first place. When you feel regret, your heart breaks. It tells you what you didn't respect enough, what you ignored too easily, and what you betrayed too quickly. It shows you an image not to make you feel bad, but to wake you up. It makes you feel what you caused other people to feel. It makes you see the waves of your unconscious mind. You are not the same person you were after seeing that. You're broken open. It makes you softer. You've changed. There is kindness hidden in sorrow. It changes the future, but it doesn't erase the past. Being able to move, speak, and love more fully is possible because of it. It gives you the broken pieces of your old self and asks you to put them together to make something better, more true to yourself. When mistakes go against your most important ideals, they hurt the most. If you go against your own heart and trust, you will feel terrible guilt because it's not just about what you did to other people, but also about what you did to yourself. You betrayed your own soul. It's hard to get back, but the road is holy. Every step you take toward changing, being honest, and being forgiven makes you stronger in ways that success could never do. There are times when mistakes are supposed to be made, as shown in the cosmic timing of regret. Some mistakes are required to get started. They take away your pride. They make you doubt your beliefs. They show how weak your masks are. They invite you to connect with reality more deeply, where being present is more important than being perfect. One where you don't try to be perfect and just be yourself. You learn the difference between guilt and duty through regret. When you feel guilty, you hate yourself even more. You can fix things when you take responsibility. "I'm bad," says guilt. "I'm sorry I messed up, and I will do better next time." You can't get out of shame when you feel guilty. Taking responsibility can help you and other people get better. The mistakes you've made can't be fixed. You can't fix what's wrong, but you can change what happened and what it means. You can choose to be someone who is humble and kind as they carry the lessons. If you want to honor the pain you caused, you can choose not to pass it on to other people. This is why, when you feel sorrow is important. Once you're strong enough to handle it, you feel the weight of what you did. When you are finally ready to change, you see the truth. The time isn't a guess. It is made to fit the ability of your soul to rise. You were blind when you were younger and made mistakes, out of fear, out of despair. Now your guilt shows that you've grown. This means you no longer want to live without being aware. You are beginning to wake up. You will always remember some mistakes, not as weights, but as holy scars. They'll help you remember where you came from. They will show you how valuable confidence is, how fragile love is, and how dangerous it is to be asleep. They will make you more compassionate when other people are hurting. They will make you more careful about what you say, what you plan, and where you are. Feel angry about the mistakes you've made in the past. It's easy to get lost in the sadness of what might have been. You can also bow down to them. Thanks for what they taught you. They tore down the fake self you held on to, so thank them. Thank them for putting you on the path to truth, even if you fell along the way. The soul does not try to be perfect. The soul wants to know more. The soul wants to know the truth. And mistakes are the tools that you use to cut truth and depth into the stone of who you are. You stop being afraid of failing when you see regret not as a punishment, but as a planned wake-up call. Stop acting like everything is fine with you. You give up holding on to a life free of danger and mistakes. You enjoy life more. You have more guts. There is more love in your heart because you know that life will use your mistakes. It will be changed by life. If you let it, life will make it beautiful. Your worst mistakes don't make you who you are. What makes you unique is how you rise above them, what you can learn from them, what changes about you because of them. Sorry is not a bad thing. It's your teacher. It helps you grow into a bigger, smarter, freer life. You have hurt some people. You can't go back on some decisions. You can't walk back along some roads. But there is a way to move forward. There is always a way to move forward. A road that wasn't built by ignoring the past, but by coming together with it. With humility, forgiveness, courage, and a strong desire to live more awake, you can find that way. You will change how you feel about your mistakes when you look back on them one day. They will seem like holy messages to you. They will look like doors to you. They will look to you like the fire that made your soul clean. Take a soft walk with your thoughts until then. They can break your heart, but they can't break your spirit. Spend more time with them and learn how to love and care for this beautiful but fragile life more. It's through mistakes that you can see your life more clearly. But even as sorrow carves its lessons into your heart, your journey is still being shaped by deeper forces that you may not even be aware of. Some problems seem too big to handle in one life. It's like some problems feel like they've been chasing you around from place to place and lifetime to lifetime, waiting to be dealt with. Here's where the next truth comes out. Not all seeds were planted this lifetime. Some are memories that came back to you from a very long time ago. The echoes of forgotten choices are the invisible lines that connect the problems you're facing now to actions, choices, and energies from past lives that you can't remember, but that are still affecting you now. It's not about who is to blame. It's not about punishment. It's about getting bigger. There are many lifetimes in this story because it is about the soul's long journey toward knowledge, compassion, and freedom. Some pains don't make sense if you only look at this life. Losses, fears, and habits that won't go away can't all be explained by youth alone. When you meet someone, you either feel a strong bond with them or a distrust that you can't explain. You're going through a tough time that seems very old, like it's been waiting for you. You have dreams about places you've never been and fears about things you've never been through. It's not an accident. They are the emotions left over from decisions made a long time ago. In Buddhism, karma doesn't end when a person dies. As it moves forward, the seeds inside will look for the right soil to grow. Some seeds ripen very quickly in just a few years. Some people wait a lifetime. They don't forget, though. They don't go away. They come back when the time is right, when your soul is strong enough to handle them, and when you have learned enough to make a different choice. Your current problems could be the last echoes of lessons you haven't ended, or the last threads of old agreements that need to be broken. You're not getting in trouble. You have a sacred, one-of-a-kind chance to end old chapters, heal old hurts, and break free from cycles that go back further than you can remember. The soul wants to be whole. It wants to be whole. So it brings about the exact conditions needed to untangle the knots it left behind. The deception you're going through now could be a reflection of one you did in the past. You may feel lonely now because of the walls you built to keep love out in the past. The unfair thing that's happening to you now could be the end of an old power abuse. This is not meant to make you feel bad, it's meant to give you strength. Because the choices you make today are more important than ever if your life is shaped by memories. Every act of kindness, courage, or forgiveness not only changes this life, but it also heals people hundreds of years ago. You don't have to think about your past lives to get better. You only need to stay awake to learn what's going on right now. You break an old cycle every time you react to pain with knowledge instead of reaction. When you pick kindness over fear, giving over greed, or trust over control, you change old stories that have held you back for a long time. Think of your life as a fabric that is made up of threads from all over time, not just the ones that happen now. Some threads are bright and strong because they were made with love and bravery. These are the ones that come from fear and lack of knowledge. You shouldn't be angry at the dark threads. Instead, you should use conscious life to weave them into something new. The way that life brings these echoes back is a deep act of kindness. No one gives you more than you can handle. The sounds come back not to scare you, but to help you heal in ways you couldn't before. They come to the surface when your soul is ready, your heart is soft enough, and your mind is strong enough to make a different choice. And you won't lose the chance, even if you fall again or make the same mistakes. Life waits for you. Karma takes time. You will hear the sounds as many times as you need to, and each time will give you a new chance to wake up, heal, and love more deeply. How you see your problems changes now that you know this. Don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" When this starts to fix you, you start to wonder what it is. What old pain is trying to get free through this? What weight from the past does the way I choose to act now want to be lifted? In this life, the people who hurt you the most may have loved you very much in a past life. Sometimes the fights you're in now are the result of wars you fought in the past. Sometimes the talents, insights, and great compassion you bring to the world are the fruit of seeds that were planted a very long time ago. There is no loss. There is no chance. Every event, connection, and struggle is a part of a bigger story, a longer journey, or a deeper unfolding. And when you look at your life in this bigger picture way, you stop feeling like you're going through bad luck. You start to see yourself as an aware part of an old dance that helps you heal and grow. The book Echoes of Forgotten Choices also teaches you to be humble. Stop judging people so quickly. You understand that everyone is struggling with hidden pain and trying, but not always succeeding, to choose love over fear. Stop making the world into two groups: good people and bad people. You start to see people who are hurt, waking people up, being able to remember who they are at different times. Being humble makes it possible to care about others. Kindness toward yourself, caring about other people, feeling sorry for the soul's slow, messy, and beautiful growth. You don't have to be perfect here. You are not here to never mess up. You're here to get better, to get bigger, to wake up. And getting better isn't a straight line. Growth isn't neat. It's not clean to awaken. It is a mess up, a pain, and a miracle. That's right. It doesn't move in straight lines. It looks at old wounds with fresh eyes, a deeper knowledge, and more compassion. You may be asked to forgive someone even if they haven't said sorry. You may be asked to let go without getting peace. You will be asked to love without promises sometimes. These are not tests of being mean. They give you chances to be free. Karma from the past is released every time you forgive, let go, or love without conditions. You break old ties. You made the water of life and yourself a little more free. Also, the echoes of forgotten choices explain why some of your deepest gifts seem so easy. Why you seem to have certain skills, interests, and types of knowledge built into your bones. They're not new. There's no chance in them. When they bloom, it's because of work you did a long time ago. The world needs them now more than ever. You're not beginning from scratch. You are building on things that have been there for a long time. Along with the healing you accept, the love you grow, and the truth you speak, the work you do now will send gifts to lives you can't even imagine yet. Every brave thing you do counts. Each choice to forgive is important. Taking steps toward love is important. Even if no one sees it, even when no one cheers for it, even when it seems like nothing is altering, the world can see, the mind can see, the sounds keep going. As you listen tonight, know this: your problems don't matter. Problems you're having are not mistakes. They are the sounds of a bigger story that wants to be finished through you. You're not getting in trouble. You have been given the power to heal not only yourself, but also generations of pain, layers of forgetfulness, and rivers of desire. Your spirit is old. Your heart is smart. You have all the tools you need to handle this with the respect, kindness, and bravery it earns. Silently, the choices you made in the past affect your life. But even with these invisible forces at work, there is still one fight going on that hurts you more than any karmic burden ever could. What hurts you the most is not what happens to you. It's how you fight against what happens. This is the part of you that clenches, fights, and screams, "This shouldn't be happening," even though life keeps going in the right, unstoppable direction. Tonight, you will understand that the real art of freedom is not in mastering fate, but in stopping to fight it. Being weak is not what the art of non-resistance is. It's not giving up. Resistance, which sets you against reality and makes your pain worse, is the strongest kind of strength. It looks life in the face, even when it brings destruction, and says, "I will not waste my life fighting what already is." It makes you fight a war you can't win. The sadness can't be undone. You can't take back the betrayal. You can't change the illness, the loss, or the doors that shut on you when you really wanted them to stay open. Trying to fight reality is like swimming uphill against a fast-moving stream. It wears you out. It hurts you. Worst of all, it keeps you from seeing the secret benefits that come with the things you are rejecting. It's not about liking pain to accept it. It's about getting in line with the truth that what is what is. That you accept this moment as it is, even if it's not what you had planned. It means having faith that something bigger is at work, even if you can't guess what it is yet. You give up all the energy you were using to fight what is happening when you accept it. From now on, that energy can be used to heal, learn, change, and make things. You don't lose power when you accept a person. It makes it work. Picture a tree in a storm. When trees try to stand firm in the wind, they break. That is, the trees that bend and move with the wind will stay alive. They're not weak, they're smart. They know that life is made up of moving, change, and passing away. They go with the flow instead of against it. It's an art to not fight back. You add more pain to your life every time you fight reality. The first pain is the event itself, like when you lose someone or fail at something. The first pain is unavoidable. The second pain is the story you tell about it. This should not have happened. This is unfair. This ruins everything. There is no need for the second pain. Most of the time, the second pain is much worse and lasts a lot longer than the first. It's not true that you don't feel anything after all. It doesn't mean you act happy when your heart is breaking. It means that you fully feel what is going on without making it worse by fighting it. You let your sadness flow through you. You let your anger burn and go away. You let fear go up and down. You feel the feelings without being held hostage by them. You stop being locked up in pain and become the space through which it moves. You freeze when you don't give up. You make a deal. You stop living your life. You cut yourself off from the river, which could have taken you to places you can't even see yet. You get stuck in the past when you resist. The future is possible when you accept what is. Also, non-resistance shows up secret paths. When you stop expecting life to live up to your standards, you start to see new options that you couldn't see before. It's not the end of the world when the door is shut. It looks like a change of direction. A loss doesn't feel as terrible as it used to. This area seems holy and makes room for something you couldn't find any other way. When did you finally let go of something you had been holding on to? It could have been a dream, a friendship, or an old view of yourself. Think about the strange calm that came after. Think about the gifts that came up out of the blue when you stopped fighting what life was trying to teach you. Before you gave up, that peace, that clarity, and that kindness were already there for you. To trust, you have to learn how to not fight back. Trust that you're not being in trouble. Even when your plans fall apart, trust that life knows what it's doing. Believe that your soul didn't come here to stay safe, but to grow into a great person. Trust that the things you're trying to avoid might be the ones that lead to your next becoming. In resistance, you say, "This should not be happening." In acceptance, you ask, "Since it is happening, how can I meet it with wisdom, courage, and grace?" Resistance turns your life into a fight all the time. When you accept what is, your life becomes a holy dance. Non-resistance also makes kindness stronger. When you let go of your own pain without judging it, you can better hold space for other people's pain. No longer do you need to fix everything. You no longer need to force things to happen. you start to trust the timing, the way things are going, and the deep knowledge that is working behind the chaos. Let go and enjoy the fierce beauty of what is. It takes away the false idea that you were ever in charge. It makes you humble without making you look bad. You learn that real power is not dominance, but unity. Not making life do what you want, but learning to go with the flow of a much smarter mind. Healing also comes from not resisting. It's not healthy to fight against the parts of yourself that are hurt, scarred, or afraid. They get better when they feel loved, seen, and accepted. You can truly change when you stop fighting your own pain, fear, and weakness. You need to stop adding salt to your wounds. You start to let life breathe through them, which cleans and heals them. Acceptance doesn't mean you can't do anything. This means you act from a clear place, not out of panic. You're still moving, you still get to pick. You still make things. But your acts aren't driven by fear, anger, or denial anymore. They come from a greater understanding, a more stable heart, and a mind that is in sync with the way things really are. We can't be silent when we accept something. It's the most involved way to live your life. It reads, "I will not waste my life fighting things that are already there. Real life will come to me as it does. I am going to let all of you into my heart, even the scary parts. It's okay for me to believe that this too can help me rise." When you learn how to not fight back, you can't be broken, not because you never get hurt. You know that being hurt is not the end of the story, though, which is why you know that every finish has a beginning inside it, because you know that life doesn't kill. Our lives change. You can't feel non-resistance. It's something you do. When you give up, you won't always feel calm. You will feel sad sometimes. You will feel scared sometimes. You will get angry sometimes. However, you will know that you are standing on the truth, even if you feel bad about it. That you are free to stand there, that you are no longer at war with life, which is tired. If you are having a hard time tonight, remember this. You are not failing because you are in pain. Being scared doesn't make you weak. The fact that things haven't gone as planned in your life doesn't make you broken. You are being asked to trust someone bigger and stranger. You are not being asked to give up in despair, but to let the higher intelligence weave your life into something more beautiful than you could have imagined. Real life is telling you to stop fighting it and start dancing with it, not to fight the river and start letting it take you, to stop making fists and start putting your hands together. When you stop fighting life, you can find something much more important. You start to see what has been hidden in your pain the whole time when you stop fighting what happens. You start to understand that pain was never empty. It never had no point. There is something valuable waiting to grow inside every broken heart, failure, and loss. The times that broke you down were actually planting seeds of strength, compassion, and knowledge that you will need for a bigger life than the one you thought you were building. Tonight, you will see the hidden truth. Painful times are not the end of the world. They are beginnings that look like ends. They take away the top layer so that something deeper can grow. They destroy fake dreams so that real ones can come true. They break down the shell of the person you thought you were to let the real you out. When you think about the worst times in your life, you won't just see scars. There will also be skills you learned that you didn't even know you had. The nights you thought would never end made you stronger. The kindness that came from having your own heart broken. The strength you gained when you got back up after being hit so hard you didn't think you could win. Painful seeds take a long time to grow. They start to grow underground, where you can't see them. They feed on your tears, your fears, and your silent prayers. They don't show themselves right away. They need some time. They need to wait. They need the care that can only come from having open hands and an open heart, even when it seems safer to close everything down. Pain can teach you things that ease could never do. This helps you learn how to breathe even when you want to give up. It shows you how to enjoy the little things even when the big things go wrong. Because you know what it's like to be broken, it shows you how to be kind to other people. You wouldn't be the person you are becoming without your pain. If you hadn't lost things, you wouldn't be able to handle the good things that are coming your way. Without the breaks in your heart, you wouldn't be able to see how holy what's left is. Pain does more than hurt you. It changes you. It makes you smarter. It makes you humble. In this way, it gets you ready for tasks you can't see yet. You're stronger now because of the times you cried by yourself. Your bones are wise because they were formed in the fire of your mistakes. Because you know what it's like to be seen, heard, and loved. Your touch has become more kind. You did not get these gifts for free. They were won. They are yours to carry on, not as burdens, but as therapy for a world that needs what you can give so badly. There are times when your biggest gift to the world won't come from how well you do in life. It will come from how you deal with your wounds, because of how you stay open after being broken, from the way you choose to love even though you should be tough. It takes time for the seeds of hope that are hidden in hard times to grow. It can take years. You won't always know you have them until you're in a place you didn't expect to be, using skills you didn't mean to learn, and making a difference in people's lives you didn't think you could. Pain makes you strong. It shows you that you can get through things you thought were going to kill you. It teaches you that your worth is independent of what's going on around you. It shows you that there is something timeless inside you that can't be taken, broken, or lost, even if everything else is taken away. Feeling pain makes you care. It takes down the walls of judgment. It lets you feel what other people are going through. It tells you that the suffering in the world is not separate from you, but is a part of you. Being kind is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of immense power. Pain makes things clear. It takes away any false ideas about what's important. It's clearer than desire and ego. It takes you back to the important things: love, truth, relationship, and being present. That is, it helps you see things with new eyes, not fear or greed, but eyes that understand. What pain plants are for. There are many ways you can help when you do this. It makes you more aware of your calling. If you want to leave the world a little kinder than you found it, you have to reach out and help other people. People who lived hard lives aren't always the best doctors, artists, teachers, and leaders in the world. They are the ones who were hurt and got back together. People who went through the dark and brought light back with them. These people who fell and got back up not once, but 100 times, leaving us gifts from the unseen seeds of their pain. Your pain doesn't go to waste. Your problems don't mean nothing. Their work is making you strong enough to hold more love, knowledge, and courage than you ever thought possible. At times when you could have been mean, you chose to be kind instead. You put down a seed every time you stayed soft when it would have been easy to get tough. You planted a seed every time you kept going, even though you wanted to give up. Even now, in the dark and the quiet, these seeds are still growing. You have gifts inside you that are just waiting to be shown, gifts that came from the times you thought would destroy you. They don't mean you're weak. They show what you are becoming. These are the promises that life made you when you agreed to be a person, that every tear would water something holy, that every scar would show the shape of a more beautiful person, and that every break would let more light into you. You will find yourself in a place that feels strangely familiar one day, maybe when you least expect it. And a place where the skills you gained in the worst times are just right for what you need right now. One where the lessons you learned through pain become the tools you need to heal, teach, lead, and love. There will be no loss, you will know that. It was all planned out. What it all meant was clear. That's when you'll know the seeds that were buried in your pain were never left to sleep. They were ready. We are ready to go when you are, waiting for the world to need the kind of advice that you can give them. The seeds that were planted during your hard times are not just random events. They're a part of something much bigger, something your heart has always known, but your mind has trouble seeing. Life is going toward a deeper order, even when it feels broken and everything seems random or mean. Everything you've been through is not in vain. You haven't lost anything for nothing. You will face a truth tonight that is so big and so humble that you will never really live your life the same way again. It's not like life is a bunch of random events. There are so many beautiful dances, choreographies, and stories of heartbreaks, healings, fails, and awakenings that they are all too big to see from the ground. When the pain is close, all you can see is how sharp the break is. You can only feel how bad things are that went wrong. But if you could get higher, if you could rise above the present moment, you would begin to see the secret links that connect everything. The lie that made you feel weak made you find your own power. The loss that left you without any false hopes so that true love could find you. The mishap that hurt your pride and led you to a calling that was much more real than the one you had been chasing before. Every step, slip, and tear has been a part of a bigger design that your soul has been carefully weaving for a very long time. It looks like chaos from the ground up. As seen from above, it is a perfect circle. Things don't go wrong in life. Life doesn't waste sadness. Every broken heart fits neatly into a bigger pattern. Every loss is a part of a bigger picture. Every wait, stop, and fall is a part of the building blocks of who you are becoming. The mind fights against this truth because it wants things to move in a straight line. The mind wants to know what will happen. The mind wants to be in charge. The mind knows better, though. The soul moves in spirals, cycles, and holy patterns that don't always make sense until years later or when the whole journey is seen at once. Think about the times in your life that changed things the most. The people you knew who changed you, the loves that woke you up, the ends that set you free. How many of them were planned by you with great care? How many of them got there by way of loss, sadness, or heartbreak? The parts of your story that were not written with your mind were the most important. They were the ones that life wrote for you, sometimes with a pen full of pain, and sometimes with a grace so gentle that you didn't even notice it at the time. There is a grand choreography that goes through your life and the lives of everyone you meet. Every person you meet is dancing with you. Every meeting, goodbye, and quiet moment of awareness is part of how things are going to turn out. There are times when you give a gift without even realizing it. You may be the one who gets better from a stranger. Being there, being patient, and choosing to be kind, even when you have every reason to close your heart, are all things that can teach you something. There are other people dancing with you. That's not blind dancing. You are being led not by someone or something outside of you controlling you, but by your deeper intelligence, the part of you that knows things your conscious mind has forgotten. This dance routine is not meant to make you feel good. The purpose of it is to wake you up. It changes things about your life, moves things around in time, and weaves sadness and success together so that you can become the best version of yourself. It doesn't just make you happy for a short time, it wants to set you free for good. This is what happens when you hold on to something that you need to let go of. This is why doors slam shut when you keep going in the wrong direction. That's why people leave when their part in the story is over. Not because bad things happen in life, but because life is so forgiving. It's hard to understand. You are not meant to stay where you are because life loves you too much. Strange events happen at strange times, which is explained by the grand choreography. Why chances appear when you least expect them. Why certain people show up in your life just when you need them to. That's why some dreams die so that better ones you didn't even know you had, can grow. Timing isn't a guess. The timing is holy. Every delay, every turn down, and every sudden shift in direction is a readjustment. Life is telling us, not now, not this way, or not like this. Life is telling you, trust me, I see the whole map, while you're only seeing one corner. Even when things are going crazy, you feel more at peace when you trust this dance more. You know something smarter is going to happen even when your ideas fail. You know something better is coming up even when your heart breaks. You believe that life hasn't lost its way with you even when you get lost. Not doing anything when you trust the grand choreography is not the same thing. It doesn't mean to do nothing and wait for things to happen. It means going with the flow of life and dancing to the music you hear, even if the tune changes without warning. Saying yes to the beginning, the end, and the breaks in between is what it means. It means letting your heart be open even when you're scared. It means being able to forgive even when things aren't over. It means making things look nice even when things look bad around you. It means having faith that every step you take, even the ones you trip over, is part of a bigger pattern that will get you where you need to go. You become a co-creator with life when you give in to this dance. Don't fight the beat anymore. Don't fight the changes in the music. You start to move with ease through every change, twist and turn you didn't expect. And trust makes things happen. New paths open up in life. Life gives us new people to dance with. Now that you are in tune with life's greater current, doors open that you couldn't see before. You can also learn to accept yourself through the grand choreography. Stop beating yourself up for not seeing sooner, moving faster, or making a better choice. From above, even the things you thought were mistakes were part of the dance. You learned something important from even your delays. Even the darkest nights made you stronger so that you could be more light. It doesn't lose a step. Don't waste a tear. do not lose a dream. Everything has been used. You are the only one who can live the story, sing the song, and give love. As you think about your life story tonight, know this: you are not lost. You're not hurt. You're not behind. You're on time. You are right where you need to be for the next dance step to happen. Even the broken heart you're carrying tonight fits right into the dance. It's all part of the turning. Even the confusion you feel tonight, even the prayers that haven't been answered yet, are part of a bigger prayer that is being answered in a way that you can't see yet. When you trust the big picture, you can see that nothing in your life has been chance. But even when you trust, there is one kind of heartbreak that hurts more than any other: the heartbreak of failure. The times when your hopes, dreams, plans, and everything you put your heart into falls apart right in front of your eyes. Those times feel like they're betrayals. They make you feel like you've lost your way, that you're not good enough, and that you're falling behind in a race you were supposed to win. But what if those mistakes did not mean the end of your journey? What if they were the way, but they were hiding, and your mind couldn't figure out what they were? It hurts to fail because it breaks the picture you had of how life should be. It takes away the false hopes of being in charge and the reassuring illusions of security. And it breaks the story you were telling yourself about who you are, what you deserve, and where you're going. A deeper truth is waiting to be born in that breaking. It's a truth that was buried under your hopes, behind the smaller dreams you thought were the goal. There is no intention to hurt you when the road shows up as failure. It wants to send you somewhere else. It wants you to leave behind goals that are too small for the soul you are growing into. It tries to free you from attachments to results that would have held you back, trapped you, or worn you out. When it wakes you up, it shows you options you would not have seen from the old story you were living. Think about the times you failed the most, the job you lost, the breakup of the relationship, the chance that got away from you. It felt like death at first. It was like someone slammed a door so hard that the whole world shook. After a while, sometimes a long time, you could see that door needed to be shut. It became clear that the thing you were after would not have made you happy, respected, or led you to the greater parts of your life that were waiting for you. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. If you fail, it doesn't mean you're off track. Failure is often a sign that you need to move on with your life before you waste years climbing a ladder against the wrong wall. A lot of the time, failing means you are being saved from more pain you can't see yet. People who fail often get ready for a bigger dream than the one they were brave enough to name. The mind has a limited view of what it means to be successful: achievement, approval, respect, and safety. But success means something different to the soul. Growth is what success means for the soul. Awakening is what success means. To be successful, you have to get in tune with life's inner currents, and sometimes letting the surface life fall apart is the only way to get a soul that is wandering back on track. When you fail, you are not getting in trouble. You're being sent somewhere else. There is a chance for you to get to know yourself, life, and truth better. When old dreams fall apart, room opens for something real to come in. This new thing isn't built on fear, ego, or a desperate need to prove your worth. It's built on your true essence, your true calling, and your honest heart. It really hurts to fail. The sadness is real. There is real fear. Feel everything. Respect everything. But don't let it make you who you are. Don't let it make you think your life is broken. There's nothing wrong with your life. It is being made over. The most important chances in your life are often hidden behind doors that say failure. Most of the time, the connections that feed your soul come after the ones you thought would save you. The work that truly fulfills you often comes up after the jobs on which you built your identity fail. Often, the freedom you quietly wanted comes only after the things you relied on fall apart. The way will ask you to trust the compass inside you instead of the map you made when failure shows up. It wants you to keep going, even though you can't see where the road goes. It wants you to believe that seeds are being planted even where things have fallen apart. Something holy is rising even in the ashes. Change stories that make a difference in the world are not always happy endings. These are stories about going down and getting back up, losing and finding, breaking and becoming. These are the stories of people who were brave enough to trust the path, even when it ruined their plans and hopes and left them alone in the woods with only their heartbeat to keep them company. And it's in that wild place that the real way becomes clear. Not the path you planned, but the one you were meant to take. Not the road your mind was stuck on, but the one your soul has been yearning to take. When you fail, the masks you wore to stay alive come off. It takes away the ties you thought were love. It takes away the personalities you made to get liked. After the storm is over, what's left is something strong, soft, and unbreakable. The real you is what's left. How many dreams came true doesn't say anything about who you are. How few mistakes you made doesn't say anything about who you are. How you get back up after falling shows what kind of person you are. By how you love after you've lost. By how long you stay open after the break. Failure makes you humble. You learn that you are not in charge. You learn that you can't make life do what you want it to do. That being said, it also makes you stronger than you thought. It teaches you how to deal with ends. It shows you that you can start over and over again without losing the best parts of who you are. You stop being afraid of failure when you see it not as the end, but as a holy break. Don't take risks just to keep your pride up. Don't settle for safe lives that don't feed your soul. You become more brave. I love more, having more fun. You understand that failing doesn't make you a loser. To really lose, you have to refuse to learn from your mistakes. And you refuse to give up. Your heart won't stay open after a breakup. You won't let loss make you tough. You won't let fear keep your dreams from coming true. You begin to follow the right road, the one that wasn't paved with medals, but with tears. The one that isn't marked by cheers, but by quiet times of being real. The one that isn't filled with promises, but with mystery, wonder, and the steady beat of your own heart. Maybe sooner than you think, you'll look back on those times when you failed and be thankful for them. They were not side trips, as you will see. They were quick ways to get to your real life. You'll see that what you thought was the end was really just the start of everything. Something even more humble starts to stir inside you when you realize that even failure is a secret doorway to your true path. Something that makes you think that life may have been more planned, holy, and organized than you ever dared to believe. Maybe it's not just random bad things happening and then good things happening. Maybe it's not chaos that is sometimes broken up by luck. Maybe, before you took your first breath, holy promises were made to your soul that told you about the lessons, people, heartbreaks, and healings that would shape you into the person you came here to be. The idea of hidden contracts or deals your soul made before you were born makes you look at your whole life in a new way. All of your friends who helped you, every enemy that hurt you, every love that made you whole, every lie that broke you. It wasn't a mistake. Not one of them was chance. Every big event, every deep connection, and every terrible loss may have been chosen with a knowledge that goes far beyond what your mind can understand. At first, it's almost too much to hold. It's possible that all of the people who hurt you, your parents, your lovers, your friends, and the teachers who believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself, may have agreed in a time and space beyond memory to meet you here, play their parts, and wake you up. Not because bad things happen in life. For the soul's growth, though, experiences that the mind would never choose on its own. That's not why the hidden contracts were written. They were written with love, strong love. Love so strong that it's willing to hurt when it needs to. Love that is so strong that it's willing to be the bad guy in your story if that's what your soul needs to be free. Some people are willing to help you, lift you up, and show you what love really is. Others are willing to push you, betray you, and break your beliefs in order to make you stronger. Both are holy. Both are important. At a level far above the small games of personality and pride, both are acts of love. This doesn't mean you can't do anything. It's not like you have no choice. Destiny and free will work together to shape every moment. There are contracts that set the scene, but it is always up to you to choose how to love, forgive, grow, and heal. Think about it this way. The ideas, the main characters, and the turning points are set by the agreements. But you still get to write the lines of speech. You can still choose how to react, with anger or kindness, fear or bravery, desire or kindness. Looking at life through the lens of secret contracts changes the way you blame into how you understand. The father who left you might have agreed to be that part so that you would have to find stability inside yourself. The lover who broke up with you might have decided to help you feel better about yourself. It's possible that the friend who turned against you agreed to teach you how to be smart. It's not okay to hurt people because they understand. It doesn't mean you have to stay friends with bad people. It doesn't mean you let abuse happen. It means you see the deeper layers moving below the top. Once you see them, you take back your power. Because you stop seeing yourself as a victim of life when you realize that even the worst things that happened were part of a bigger, smarter plan. You begin to see yourself as a part of a holy process. Don't ask, "Why did this happen to me?" And start to ask, "What was this meant to awaken in me?" These books also talk about why some relationships feel right away like home, why some people feel like family, even though you just met them, and why some experiences break your heart in ways you can't explain. This is not the first time we've met. This is a get-together. These are promises made between souls that are still being kept, even though neither of you remembers how much it will hurt or how much it will heal. And it's not just the happy meetings that are important. The strongest agreements are often the ones that are the hardest to break. They are the ones that push you to grow in ways you would never have picked on your own. If it takes that to wake you up, the person that hurts you the most might be the one that loves you enough to play the part you would hate. You can start to see your life as a huge, complicated web of meetings and goodbyes, starts and ends, each one perfectly timed, placed, and tuned for your growth. The boss who let you go when you were down on your luck. That child who pushed you to your limits. When you were about to give up, that stranger's kindness saved you. All of them are holy threads that run through your life. It changes how you move through the world when you believe in these hidden deals. When you meet new people, you're less afraid and more interested. It's easier for you to forgive. You let go of anger more quickly. You are more gentle with your sadness because you know that even the worst losses are not the end, but a sacred transition. You start to understand that your soul is talking to the souls of everyone around you. Sometimes they talk, sometimes they don't, but they are always there. Every interaction, argument, and moment of connection is a part of a bigger conversation that our minds can barely grasp. You learn to trust your gut in the hidden contracts as well. You might feel drawn to someone sometimes, but not understand why. There are times when you will feel turned off for no good reason. Believe that. Your soul knows things that your mind has forgotten. Your spirit hears the sounds of old deals, the rumblings of unfinished business, and the call to finish what was started a long time ago. It's not always possible for agreements to last so long. Some are short but strong. Some people come into your life to change things, and when they're done, they leave. To respect the sacredness of the contracts, you have to learn to let go without being angry and to bless what came and what went. What about the deals you don't fully understand yet? The losses that still don't make sense? The betrayals that hurt too much still? Have faith that you will understand. Today might not be the day. It's possible that never will in this life. But each thread will show where it fits in the bigger fabric in the end. You're not living this life just for yourself. You are keeping promises to other people and stitching your piece into a story that is bigger, better, and more beautiful than you can see yet. Know this as you think about the people who have helped you and those who have hurt you tonight. They both answered the same call, to help you remember who you are. Then, if you can be grateful for even the painful parts of your life, you will be able to move on from the small story of being a victim and into the bigger story of conscious growth. Knowing the secret agreements that shape your life makes your heart more open to both the good and the bad things that happen. But sometimes, the pain stays. A low hum of unhappiness that doesn't seem to go away with success, relationships, or accomplishments. It comes up in the quiet times, when there aren't many other things going on, and whispers that there is something more, something deeper, something still waiting to be lived. Lots of people try to avoid being unhappy their whole lives, but tonight you will see that this is not a flaw, a curse, or a failure. This guide is holy. It's your soul's voice pulling you toward the life you were meant to live. People often think that the whisper of dissatisfaction means they are weak. People often mistake it for being immature, ungrateful, or restless. That you should be happy with what you have, be thankful, and settle down. Also, being thankful is beautiful and even necessary. Being thankful doesn't mean you have to ignore the greater call that's coming from inside you. Being grateful means accepting things as they are while still listening to the voice that tells you you're not done yet. You haven't lived your life to the fullest yet. There's more. That whisper isn't a mistake. It's a map. It's the soul's way of leading you to calls, experiences, and awakenings that your mind can't quite put into words yet. It moves when you live in a small space. When you stay in places you've passed, it burns. It hurts when you hold on to identities, roles, and goals that don't match the truth that is coming out of you. It's not against you that people are unhappy. It's for you. You can't settle for half a life because of the fire. The pull is what keeps you looking, even when everyone and everything tells you to stop. Being under pressure breaks down the shell around your true self, letting the real you come out. The word gets louder when you don't pay attention to it. For a long time, it leads to anger, sadness, numbness, or a feeling you can't explain. Your soul will fight you until you stay on your true path. It will come back to haunt your cozy cages. It will fill up your quiet times. It will show up in your dreams. It will hurt like hell until you pay attention. It takes bravery to listen to the whisper of dissatisfaction, because you have to leave the safety of what you know a lot of the time. If you want to be successful, love should feel good, and life should be great. You have to question the things you were told. It asks you to go into the unknown with no promises. Still, life reacts every time you listen to the whisper, even if it's only a little. You might not have seen doors start to open. Strengths that you forgot you had start to come back. Aliens that you didn't know were watching start to show up. Life helps the soul that is brave enough to follow its desire. It's not their job to bother you, the whisper of dissatisfaction. It's meant to keep you awake. It keeps you from having a life that seems good on the outside, but is empty on the inside. This is meant to tell you that you were not born just to stay alive. You were meant to live. The whisper can lead you to a new job, a new way of being creative, or a new way to help people. It can take you out of situations that aren't supportive of your growth. It sometimes pulls you into solitude, silence, and the unknown, not to punish you, but to free you from old bonds so that a more authentic life can find you. The world is afraid of unhappiness because it threatens systems that are based on ease and fitting in. Satisfaction is bad for you, but the mind loves it because it's where evolution starts. Every great creation, every heart revolution, and every spiritual breakthrough started with someone not shutting down the voice inside them. You are okay with being antsy because you want more. You're not broken because you won't change your life to fit the mold other people have made for you. You are not bitter. You're still living. You are hearing. You are waking up. Being unhappy doesn't mean you hate your life. It means you care about yourself enough to look for a life that fits the person you are becoming. If you believe that the life you want is real and not just a dream, then you are moving toward that memory. Some people will not understand why you are so antsy. There will be people who think your desire is weak, rebellious, or careless. Let them get it wrong. You're not living their life. You're giving your soul an answer. Your soul also knows things that your mind doesn't understand yet. Your soul knows why you're here and what you're supposed to do. Your spirit knows what you were sent here to do. Your soul knows that you came to this world to feel and give love. Believe it. You can also learn patience from the whisper of dissatisfaction. Because it doesn't always show you the next step right away. It tells you to stay in the pain and the longing and trust that you are still going even when you can't see the whole road. At times, all you can do is breathe through the pain, hold on to the longing, and believe that life is putting the pieces together in a way you can't see yet. The whisper will sometimes feel like a curse because it won't let you settle for simple answers or half-truths. Trust those days the most. They are the pains of giving birth to your next self. You don't have to know everything yet. You don't need to know the exact route you're taking. All you have to do is answer the call. To treat the anger with respect as holy, not as a problem that needs to be fixed, but as a lesson that needs to be learned. Find out what the whisper wants to show you. Find out what your desire is trying to tell you. Take a moment to listen. Pay attention during breaks. Fear and doubt can make it hard to hear. The answers are there, ready to be found, growing and opening up. And when you see the road clear ahead and the next step appear like a faraway lantern in the dark, don't be afraid to take it. Even if it makes you doubt yourself. It doesn't matter if you have to leave behind everything you thought you needed. It doesn't matter if you have to risk everything safe for something much more real. This is because you won't be happy until you're living the life you were meant to live. Not a life that makes you look good to other people. Not a life that fits nicely into what people think should happen. A life that makes you feel whole. A journey that makes your soul grow to its fullest. You know in your heart, this is why I came here, and you live your life that way. It teaches you to trust your deeper compass when you listen to the whisper of longing. But there is still a mystery that is even harder to accept when you respect it and take brave steps onto the new paths it shows you. Some dreams never come true. Some questions will never have answers. There are some stories that never have a happy finish. There are doors that won't open no matter how hard you knock. Some loves just slip away no matter how much you care about them. You want to give gifts, but the world never seems ready to accept them. You will see tonight the soft, hard truth that some things are meant to be left unsaid. This feeling of not being full is not a failure. It's a holy gift meant to help you grow beyond the shallow ideas of success you thought would satisfy you. That desire that never goes away is not a punishment. It's a teacher. It makes you stronger. It makes you softer. It keeps you open to things that are bigger than yourself. It keeps your soul from getting smaller to fit into the small wins that everyone else is celebrating. It keeps you searching, moving, and improving even after you've reached smaller goals. The mind wants to find peace. To put on shelves, it wants neat ends and clear conclusions. The soul, on the other hand, is not looking for prizes. That's what the soul wants: depth, yielding, and change. There are times when the only way to get to those deeper places is through unfulfilled longings, unfinished stories, and ideas that will never, ever come true. It is not a mistake that the work is unclear. It was done on purpose. It's the soft pressure that keeps your heart open, the quiet pain that keeps you humble, and the ignored prayer that keeps you talking to life instead of taking comfort in your certainty. If you let go of a dream without finishing it, it leaves you with a space inside you that you can use to listen more deeply. Breakups that happen before you're ready for them to happen can bring out a tenderness that would have stayed hidden if things had finished nicely. You have to be more patient, stronger, and trusting when you feel like a calling is taking too long or can't happen. The unfinished shows you that you don't have control over your life, and that this is not a tragedy, but a way to free yourself. It tells you that what defines you is not what you do, but how you live while you wait, while you grieve, while you hope, and while you give up. Some loves are meant to wake you up, not stay with you. Some dreams are meant to inspire you, not come true. Some callings are supposed to move you forward and shape who you become, even if you don't reach the end goal you set out to reach. You stop judging your worth by what other people have done when you learn to live with incompleteness. Don't keep looking for certainty. You start to value being there more than doing well. You start to value the beauty of the trip itself, not just the places you hope to reach but may never get to. You start to understand that the desire is holy. The pain itself is holy. The fact that something is missing is itself a call to get closer to life. You no longer need life to explain itself to you. You should stop asking for promises. You begin to live in the unknown and questionable, believing that not everything needs to be solved in order to be valuable. Now, think of the most powerful pieces of art, songs and stories you'll never forget. A lot of the time, it's the fact that they're not finished, that they leave you hanging, that makes them stay with you long after the last note or word. Life is a work of art that has both big and small brushstrokes. You're not here to make everything fit together. Even if you never see the finished tapestry, you are here to add your color, your texture, and your desire to the weaving. Being incomplete makes you humble. It makes you realize that you are a part of a bigger story and that you can't change how it ends. It tells you that the best way to find happiness is to dance with life, even if the music changes or your steps get shaky. The desire that won't go away is not a sign that you've failed. It's proof that you are living. This is the thread that connects you to everything. This is the part of you that won't settle for simple, safe, or shallow. This is the part of you that says there has to be more, and there is. Unfinished business can be a good thing because it keeps you looking for a deeper kind of satisfaction. A peace that can't be taken away by events, a joy that doesn't depend on success, and a love that doesn't go away when stories end without a happy ending. You are shaped by the desire. It makes your heart bigger. It makes your soul better. It shows you how to make room for uncertainty, change, and the sweet and sour beauty of being human. You would stop growing if you didn't feel empty. You wouldn't reach if you didn't want to. You would settle for a life that is too small for the huge person you can become if your prayers were heard. People who know you don't see the unwritten stories on your record. It's like the divine left their mark on a person that is still alive, open, seeking, and becoming. And when you meet other people who have their own unfinished stories, goals, and quiet pains, you will know who they are. They will make you feel the same holy desire that you do. You won't judge or feel sorry for them. Instead, you'll understand them deeply and tenderly. Because you know that being human means living in stories that might never end. To love things you can't keep. To have dreams that you might not come true. Giving your heart over and over to a life that only promises that the trip, the reaching, and the longing are holy in and of themselves. Know this: you are not late tonight as you sit with your dreams still fresh in your mind. You're not lost. Because the ending hasn't come yet, you're not giving up. You're on time, You're right where you should be. Your desire is making you into someone who can reach depths that most people would never dare to go. As you learn to accept the beauty of things that aren't complete, you loosen your grip on life. But every missed opportunity and wrong turn has a deeper lesson waiting for you. It taught them that time is always right, even when it seems mean or betrayal. It is exact. It shows kindness. It is a part of an ideal that is too big for the mind to understand when it is going through loss. Tonight, you'll face the deeper truth. Missing a chance, being turned down, or falling behind isn't always a failure. Sometimes it's an act of defense that leads you to a better future that you wouldn't have chosen if you were in charge of your life. When time goes wrong, it hurts because it goes against what you were expecting. You made plans, you did work, you had a dream. The door still wouldn't open. The offer still got away. Still, the life you thought you were making fell apart right in front of your eyes. It feels close to home. It doesn't seem fair. The soul, on the other hand, sees a bigger picture than the mind can understand. The soul sees the dangers that are hidden behind early success, the heartbreaks that are hidden behind perfect chances, and the betrayals that are woven into ways that look good on the outside. Every no, delay, or fall has a kindness that can't be seen. There's no reason for life to break your heart. It's being saved by life. If you think you need a certain kind of future, life is trying to connect you with one that is much deeper, more true, and better fits who you really are. The mind needs to move quickly. The mind needs right now. The mind wants things to go in a straight line from desire to satisfaction. But the soul moves in a different way. The soul values being ready more than being fast. Intimacy is not important to the soul. Depth is. True alignment is more important to the soul than surface success. You thought you were ready for some dreams, but if they came true too soon, they would have crushed you. Some loves you begged for would have worn you down if they had stayed. There were times when you prayed for success that would have led to jails instead of freedom. You wanted to get to some places that, if you had made it there the first time, would have taken you farther off track. It's not rejection to be late, redirecting at the wrong time. It's life's fierce kindness telling you, not yet. Better yet, don't do this. There will be something better soon, something that will last longer, something more real. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time keeps you from building your life around empty wins. It keeps you safe from relationships based on fear. It keeps you from going into futures where you would have had to give up your deeper self. But to believe this, you have to be brave enough to let your dreams die without your hope dying. It takes strength to keep going, even when everything goes wrong. Being humble means admitting that you don't always know what's best for you. You don't have to stop dreaming just because you believe that bad timing is great. It means you don't put too much weight on your dreams. You let go of the desperate grabbing. You let life change, edit, and change your path in ways you would never choose, but will one day be good for you. Think about the times you didn't want to be late, but were. The job that you didn't get. The plan that didn't work out. The chance that didn't come up. At first, I felt like I had failed. But later, sometimes a long time later, you saw what was smart. You saw the danger, but you were safe. The first door didn't open, so you saw the better one. Life is making patterns that are too complicated for your simple mind to understand. Life is like putting puzzle parts together that will finally fit together perfectly one day. When you look back on your life, you'll understand how it changed you in ways that you don't understand now. You don't rush when you know that the wrong time is perfect. Don't compare your trip to other people's. Don't treat life like a race that you're losing. You start to see that there is no one ahead of you or behind you. Everyone is just following their own winding road at the speed that feels right to them. This is not a bad time for you. Your way is still clear. Your speed is fine. People who wait too long can't take away your dreams. You can't lose the love that is yours because of distance. No amount of side trips can take away your calling. Real things last forever. When plans don't work out, the only thing that really goes away is what was never really yours to begin with. Success can't teach you how to trust like bad timing can. You learn how to keep your heart open even when things don't go as planned. It teaches you how to stick to your bigger goal even when everyone else tells you to give up. It shows you how to base your life on what you know inside instead of what other people say. And that trust, that loyalty, that stability are the traits you will need most when the right doors open, when your real dreams come true, and when the love that can really hold you comes along. The wrong time is not a curse. It's getting ready. Every delay makes you stronger. Every turn down makes you more humble. Every fall smooths out your mind, removing pride and building strength. It makes you better able to love without holding on, work without trying, and live without fear. Before you go to sleep tonight, remember that nothing important that was meant for you has been lost. Nothing that is part of the real development of your soul can be put off past the right time. There is nothing going away that you need to be truly happy. You're not behind. You're not behind schedule. You are being checked out. You're getting tuned. Something is setting you up for something that fits the core of who you are. You don't have to carry the weight of missed chances if you trust that bad timing is perfect. But deeper currents that started before you took your first breath shape the path you walk. You have problems that keep coming back to haunt you like old ghosts. You feel heavy in ways you can't explain, and you have patterns of fear, anger, or sadness that don't seem to be your own. You will see a painful truth tonight when you open a door even wider. Not everything you carry is yours. Some of the fights you fight, some of the pain you heal, and some of the dreams you are called to fulfill are echoes of ancestral karma, unfinished stories from people who lived before you that are still trying to be resolved through your life. The life you're living is part of a fabric that goes far beyond the small circle of your own memories. You are the child of many generations and the heir of goals, wounds, sacrifices, and dreams that are too big to fit into one life. There is more in your blood than just air. It holds the hopes of ancestors who didn't finish their work, break their chains, or follow their deepest callings, but who put the seeds in you to carry on what they started. Some of your fears aren't new. They are passed down. Some of the problems you face are not caused by a lack of effort. They are the remains of ways of surviving that have been passed down from generation to generation. Some of the sadness you feel isn't your own grief. It is the silent sadness of people whose lives were torn apart by oppression and silence. It's not necessary to blame the past when you hear the echoes of ancestral fate. That doesn't mean becoming a victim. It means being honest about the fact that you are a part of something bigger than yourself. It means not seeing your problems as private humiliations, but as holy chances to break loops that have been going on for hundreds of years. The first step in healing family karma is to become aware of it. By being brave enough to name the patterns that were passed down. There are patterns of lack, fear, shame, and separation. By refusing to keep doing them without realizing it, you can live, love, and dream differently if you choose to. You are not to blame for what your ancestors went through. You are not to blame for what they couldn't fix. On the other hand, you have the chance to offer something they couldn't. Being aware, feeling sorry, bravery. Your body heals itself both forward and backward at the same time. You make things easier for people who will come after you, and for people who had to carry it before you but didn't have the tools or freedom you do now. You heal a piece of the family web every time you choose to forgive instead of being angry. When you choose kindness over fear, you make a way for future generations. People who were afraid to share their truth, follow their calling, or love without conditions are set free every time you do these things. The echoes of ancestral karma also explain why some of your problems seem so big compared to other people's problems. You have more than one story to deal with, stories that aren't ended, voices that aren't heard, and dreams that haven't come true weigh on you. You have the strength to do it. You didn't just happen to be born into your family tree. Your soul chose it. Your gifts, wounds, and goals are all perfectly suited to helping your family heal the most. Few of the fights you have were ever meant to break you. They were meant to break the chains that have been on your family for generations. You are the dream of all the people who have come before. You are the live prayer of those who have been hurt and lost hope. You are the flower that grows from seeds that were planted in ground that is full of struggle, love, and desire. You can honor your ancestors by being free. To honor them, heal the hurts they couldn't. Honor them by having the courage to dream the dreams they were too hurt to dream. Getting rid of family karma doesn't mean forgetting the past. It's about making it right. The story is about making a new story and way of being out of the pain, the victory, and the survival that have happened in the past. That's what it means to refuse to pass on what must end with you. It means, this is where the pain ends. This is where the fear ends. This is the end of the silence. It's about being the link between the hurt past and the better future. It's also hard. It asks for everything. It makes you stay awake when it would be easy to fall asleep. It asks you to be kind even though it would be easy to be mean. It tells you to stay positive even when history tells you to be sad. But you can do it. You're all set. You would not have been born into this family tree if you were not strong, smart, and brave enough to carry and change what needs repair. Echoes of ancestral karma don't just bring pain, they also bring gifts, skills developed over hundreds of years of survival. Suffering makes you wise. There is beauty in the midst of trouble. You have lived through both strength and pain, and you have been both brilliant and hurt. Also, honor that. Not only should you heal their wounds, but you should also celebrate their skills by laughing out loud when they had to be quiet, by moving freely even though they had to hide, by loving freely even though they had to live in fear. Every happy thing you do is a protest against the people who tried to wipe out your family history. Every act of making something is a dream come true that was once thought to be impossible. Every mending action sends waves through time, both forward and backward. These waves illuminate the past and make the future possible. As you sit with your problems tonight, remember this: you are not weak because you feel the weight of the past. You're not failing because you're still getting better. You are walking on holy ground. You are answering many people's prayers. Healing the echoes of ancestral pain makes you more understanding of the story you carry. But as you move past those old problems, life keeps giving you a different kind of test. The test of dreams that didn't come true. The dreams you risked making, the ones you loved deeply, and the ones you thought would make you whole. They all fell apart. Still, you couldn't hold on to them because they were so slippery. Still, they left you standing in the ashes of a future you thought was certain. There is a truth that not many people learn to accept. Broken dreams are not the end of your trip. The fire that shapes your deepest desires is them. It strips away the wants on the surface to show your true callings. When you're disappointed, you have to face the difference between what you wanted and what life gave you. Feels like being lied to. I feel like I'm being punished. When you're told no to things you thought you couldn't live without, it hurts. On the other hand, what if disappointment isn't life denying you? What if disappointment is life protecting you from bonds that are too small for the soul you are becoming? Many times, the dreams that come true are the ones that are based in the present moment. The part of you that wants approval, safety, position, and certainty. The part of you that dreams in terms of fear and a need to be accepted. And it's not because life is evil when those dreams come true. That's because life is kind. There is too much love in the world for you to waste time on goals that will empty your heart, even if they are reached. It breaks the heart when a dream comes true. You have to face what you really want, not just what you thought you wanted. It makes you separate the real callings of your soul from the wants that you get from culture, ego, and fear. It hurts to work with broken dreams, but it's holy. It makes you clean. It burns away the false beliefs that kept you after things that could never fill your real hunger. It shows you that your worth was never based on how many dreams you fulfilled. It was always whole and built in. Think about the dreams that didn't come true, the jobs you thought would make you who you are, the connections you thought would make you whole, the different ways you thought success would save you. They left behind a space that was both raw with sadness and full of truth when they broke. A different kind of desire starts to grow in that place. A less strong desire, a more genuine wish. A desire that isn't based on fear of failing or a need for praise, but on the desire to live honestly, love deeply, help others in a meaningful way, and make beauty from the mess that is your real life. Being stripped down to the bare bones by broken dreams. They teach you what you're ready to fight for, even if you don't know if you will win. They teach you what you love enough to keep loving, even when it doesn't give you what you want. When everything you thought was important falls apart, they teach you what's important. The dreams that stay with you after they break are the ones that are really part of your soul's deal with life. These are the deepest thoughts that can't be based on fear. These are the callings that are too holy to give up for safety. Broken dreams are sometimes the only way to find the deeper dreams that are hidden beneath them. It's possible that the job you lost was never really your dream job. Maybe the real dream was to make things, inspire people, or heal people, and life had to take away the false structures so you could find the form that fits your spirit. Maybe the partner who broke up with you was never really your home. It's possible that your real home has always been inside you, just waiting for the walls of codependence to fall. Maybe the road to success you were looking for was never the right one for you. You might have turned down the chance to live a life you would never have dared to say was possible. Broken dreams have the power to change you. It makes you humble. It leaves you empty. It gets rid of all but the most basic hunger until only the worst desires are left. Remember that what you really want is something you can't lose. You can't fail at it. No one in the world can take it away. It's the wish to be awake, to love without any rules, to make beauty out of whatever life gives you as raw materials. Real desire doesn't stick around. It doesn't make deals. It doesn't chase. It comes from somewhere deeper than fear and hope. It comes from realizing that you're not here to take over the world. You're here to be a part of it, to dance with it, and to love it, no matter how it turns out. It changes the way you walk after going through the fire of broken dreams. You want something different. Your search is no longer driven by despair. You are no longer asking for promises. No longer do you worship results. You live with your heart, hands, and eyes open. You work because you enjoy it, not because you want to win awards. You love for the fun of it, not because of what it will bring you. You make things because you want to, not because you need praise to show how valuable you are. This is the freedom that comes from having broken dreams. The freedom to live without having other people to agree with you that you exist. The freedom to listen to your inner voice more than the changing winds of success in the outside world. And sometimes a new dream comes after the old one ends. A dream that comes from love, not fear. A dream where the need to show yourself doesn't get in the way of the fun of expressing yourself. From the outside, this new dream might look like it's not as big. It might not make everyone happy. It might not make you famous or rich. But it will feel like second skin on your soul. It will make you feel a fierce, quiet joy. It will make sense of the losses that didn't make sense before. You will bless the dreams that didn't come true. You will be grateful for the pain that broke you down. The empty places where your old ideas used to live will be blessed by you. Since those spots were always full, they were getting ready for something real. Don't feel less of a person because you lost something you loved tonight. Instead, remember that you are not less because you lost something you loved. You are more than that. Not as rough, more real, more awake. You are not flawed because you are broken. It leads to the deepest sense of wholeness you will ever know. When you understand the quiet wisdom behind broken dreams, you feel more at peace. But life's fires of refinement aren't over yet. There is another struggle coming up that is just as sharp, painful, and hard to understand. It's the loneliness of not being seen, the pain of being misunderstood, judged, or written off. You will learn one of the strangest and most important lessons tonight. It's okay for other people not to fully understand you. It's a secret lesson. It is a holy cleansing meant to free you from the never-ending need for approval from other people and connect you to the deepest knowledge of your own soul. Being misunderstood hurts more than a lot of physical pains. At your core, it feels like being turned down. It brings up old fears of being left alone, being sent away, or being kicked out of the group. It makes you want to hold back, twist the truth, and quiet your voice just to fit in and feel safe. But if you can sit in the fire of being misunderstood without giving up who you are, you will find freedom that no acceptance from other people could ever give you. You're not here so that everyone can understand you. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You're not here to make people who can't see your heart like you. You're here to live your truth. You're here to go on your way. You are here to follow the call inside you, even if it makes you feel like a stranger among people you used to call home, puts you in a corner, or costs you relationships. The road of the soul is often lonely, not because you're wrong. The more you go into the truth, though, the fewer people who can meet you there. Being alone is not a sentence. It cleans things up. It gets rid of the need to be seen so people know you're real. It takes away the need to be praised when you know you deserve it. For as long as you stand in your truth with bravery and grace, you won't need to be understood. You can live your true self when you don't have to worry about being understood. You are free to tell the truth, even if it makes other people nervous. Free to do the work that needs to be done, even if it's not understood. Feel free to love the way God wants you to, even if it doesn't match what other people think is right. Stop living to get praise. You should no longer judge your worth by how well other people reflect your goals. It's like you're living in tune with something deeper, more holy, and more stable. In a strange way, when you stop wanting to be understood, you often end up with relationships based on real appreciation instead of shallow approval. People who come to see you not because you put on a show for them, but because they feel the same truth moving inside them. Being misunderstood can also teach you to be kind. You realize how many times you've been wrong about other people, how many times you've only seen the top of their life and drawn conclusions that were not based on any facts. It takes you longer to judge, not as fast to name, less quick to judge. You learn to be humble enough to accept that you don't always know the whole story of someone else, and being humble makes room for a greater connection. You should also stop taking other people's opinions so personally. You understand that when someone gets it wrong, it usually says more about how they see the world than about who you are himself. The way they see you is often shaped by their fears, hurts, and strengths. And once you know this, you won't feel the need to defend yourself against every small mistake. You keep your energy in check. You keep the peace. You keep going down your road. Being misunderstood forces you to base your identity on who you are, not on how other people see you. It asks you to base your worth not on what other people think, but on what you agree with yourself. It asks you to belong to yourself, to your soul, to your honesty first and foremost. That kind of stuff can't be taken away from you. It can't be scared off by being turned down. Slander can't make it less important. It can't be undone by being alone. There is something about joining that helps you get through the times when no one else seems to get what you are trying to birth, heal, or become. Belonging is what keeps you steady when people mistake your silence for indifference, your kindness for weakness, and your dreams for silly things. It's something that makes you kind even when people judge you, to stay open even after you're fired, to always be honest even when you're by yourself. And when you feel like you always belong, you become a lighthouse for others who are still lost in the storms of needing to be seen, validated, and accepted. You become a safe place for people who are still afraid to stand in their own light without being praised. You show people that they can live deeply, love strongly, and create bravely, even if they don't fully understand. It's not meant to punish you to be misunderstood. It's meant to make you stronger. It's to get rid of everything that's not true. This is to teach you that being liked by everyone is not what makes you truly peaceful. Real love comes from being able to see and love yourself fully. You can tell when you meet someone who is also misunderstood, the thinkers, the rebels, the healers, or the outcasts. You know how lonely they are. You admire how brave they were. For you to walk with them, they don't have to be different or fit nicely into your expectations. You change into someone who gives others the gift you used to want, to be seen without having to shrink, explain, or act. As you think about the times when people didn't understand you tonight, remember this: you were right to be yourself. You didn't do wrong when you put your own happiness ahead of what other people thought. You didn't do wrong when you left groups that couldn't see you. You're not here to fit in. You're here to wake up. You're here to remember. Being here means being a fact that doesn't depend on being understood. Being able to live without needing to be understood gives you a level of freedom that not many people ever experience. But there is another part of reality that requires even more trust. When you look at things that seem random, like accidents, coincidences, and sudden breaks, you can see that nothing is really as random as it seems. There are no mistakes, and you will see this tonight. Life often speaks in a language that is so soft, complicated, and clear that only someone with an open heart can understand it. Every side trip, missed connection, and unexpected turn has lessons, hidden safeguards, and hidden catalysts that were put exactly where they needed to be. People think of randomness as a story they make up to explain things they can't plan for or control. The mind knows better, though. The mind sees chaos, but the soul sees patterns. People with a soul can feel the invisible currents that guide, redirect, and get them ready for times they would never have chosen, but that make them into someone they could never have been otherwise. It's nice to read The Illusion of Accidents when things go badly. It lets the mind say, "Oh well, that was just bad luck." It keeps us from facing the greater issues of meaning. But if you are ready to stay awake and open, you will start to see that every so-called mistake held a key inside it. There is a key that leads to a deeper part of your journey that would have stayed hidden if everything had gone as planned. The missed bus that turned your day around and put you in touch with someone who changed the way you think forever. That job you didn't get that let you say yes to a chance that changed your life. The illness made you slow down and face the parts of yourself you had pushed away. The breakup that made you so vulnerable that new love, strength, and knowledge could come in. There was no chance in this. There were invitations here. These were messages that were written into the fabric of your life as problems. Even the smallest events, like delays, coincidences, and close calls, often hide layers of lessons that become clear only when you look back from a higher perspective. There is a much smarter force at work in your life than random chance. This story is not perfect on the outside, but it is perfect in how it shows who you are becoming lower down. It is made up of your actions, choices, mistakes, and turns you didn't expect. This smarts are part of you and not something different. It's a part of you. It's your higher mind, your soul, or your deeper mind working with life's intelligence to make sure you have the right obstacles, helpers, and crossroads at the right time. Your whole view of life changes when you start to see through the illusion of accidents. You stop seeing yourself as someone who was hurt by chance events. You start to see yourself as a part of a holy conversation. You pay more attention to what they say. You start to notice the little pushes, the weird coincidences, and the sudden changes that don't make sense on the surface but make you feel something deeper. Don't ask, "Why did this happen to me?" You start to wonder, "What is this trying to show me? What door does this want to open? What lesson is this bringing that looks like trouble, loss, or disappointment?" There is a hidden call to rise higher, see deeper, and live more awake in every accident, even the ones that hurt, leave scars, or change your life forever. There is no loss. There is no chance. Everything has energy in it. Everything has a purpose. Even if the lesson comes with sadness or confusion, even if the meaning isn't clear at first, even if the purpose is kept secret for years. When you believe this, you build up an unbreakable strength. You go through life with a calm confidence, knowing that you can handle anything that comes your way, because everything that comes your way holds the seeds of your next growth. You stop reacting as much, not as scared when bad things happen, not as eager to control what happens. More interesting, more open, smarter about how to deal with surprises so they don't make you fall apart. You understand that the things you thought were mistakes were really life-answering prayers you forgot you prayed, keeping you safe from threats you couldn't see, keep you from going down roads that would have dried out your soul, giving you gifts that you would not have seen if everything had gone exactly as planned. You feel more compassion when you meet people who are grieving sudden changes in their lives, or when you see people who are dealing with accidents that seem cruel and pointless. You don't rush to fix or explain. You leave room for the unknown. You believe that even though they are in pain, something bigger is happening that they can't see yet. This trust isn't just want to be happy, it's faith that was won. Have faith that life is smart even when it's hard. Have faith that there is purpose even when it's not obvious. Trust that love is at work even when things look the worst. The illusion of accidents goes away when you realize that your life is not a collection of chance events, but a work of art being put together with threads you can't always see, but that fit together with stunning accuracy when seen from the soul's larger view. Every hold-up, every loss, every meeting out of the blue, every sudden end, it's all part of the dance. It is all a part of the great weave. As you think about the times in your life that seemed random, crazy, or unfair tonight, know this: they were not mistakes. These things were part of the talk between your soul and life. They helped make you who you are today. They helped you get ready for the more important work your soul came here to do. As soon as you realize that mistakes don't happen by chance and that life is still speaking through chaos, you'll start to feel wiser. It takes even more trust to accept this truth. Doors don't always close to punish you. They close sometimes to keep you from betraying yourself. Tonight, you will come to one of the most important realizations of your journey. When life takes away chances, breaks up relationships, or blocks paths you were ready to take, It is often to keep you from betraying yourself in a way you couldn't see yet. Some roads look beautiful from the outside, but to walk them, you would have had to give up the most important things in your life. There are some relationships that make you feel passionate, but to keep them going, you would have had to shut down parts of your soul. There are chances that look like dreams come true, but they would have needed you to shrink, hollow out, and become less true to yourself. There were times when you were more willing to give in than you thought. You were sometimes willing to give up realism for safety. You were sometimes ready to give up your voice, your limits, and your dreams in order to fit in, do well, and be liked. And life, in its fierce kindness, told them no. There was no reason for life to close the door on you, because you were too valuable to lose. The relationship stopped because of life, not because you were bad, but because your soul earned love that would see you for who you are and not make you less than that. Life got in the way of the chance, not because you couldn't do it. Why? Because the success you were after would have cost you parts of yourself that you can't lose. These locked doors hurt. They make the mind fuzzy. They break standards. They bring up old hurts of being turned down and failing. But there is a greater wisdom at work beneath the hurt. A knowledge that knows what your soul needs to do its real job, not just what you want right now. Self-betrayal is not obvious. It often goes by the names of desire, compromise, and practicality. It tells you that a little silence here, a little shrinking there, and giving up on yourself is a small price to pay for success, connection, and safety. On the other hand, small betrayals add up. Every truth you don't say, every dream you swallow, and every boundary you don't respect moves you farther away from your center, until one day you wake up and don't know the life you built. You can avoid that nightmare by closing the wrong doors. It keeps your character from slowly being lost. You won't wake up years later to find that you've built a beautiful life that feels like a jail. Every door that shut was a gift that you couldn't see at the time. Every no was a yes to a bigger yes that was already inside you. Every ending was a new start that you weren't ready for yet. As time goes on, you can bless the doors that were shut behind you. You can bless those who turn you down. When you wanted to run away from your soul, sadness kept you close to it. You can be thankful for that. It doesn't mean you were wrong to want what you wanted. Your dreams were real. Your dreams were lovely, but some parts of you were still getting better. There are parts of you that would have been happy with less than becoming the whole person you were meant to be. Life told you no because it planned to give you a bigger yes later. Being wise behind closed doors also makes you more honest with yourself in a new way. Being ready to ask, where was I ready to betray myself? When was the last time I didn't listen to my gut just to be safe? Where was I ready to shrink to fit someone else's idea of me? Being honest is not mean. It frees you up. It stops you from doing the same things over and over. It helps you tell the difference between real alignment and giving in just to get by. It helps you make better decisions. It makes you more brave. It teaches you how to turn down chances that seem good but aren't right for you. It teaches you how to leave relationships that hurt you again but can't stop you from getting better. You learn to trust your gut more than your fears, your knowing more than your wanting, your soul over your plans to stay alive. It also teaches you to be patient. These doors often take longer to show up when they are in the right place. They don't show up when you need them the most. When you are ready to be true to yourself, even if it means giving up safety for a while, they come. You don't have to betray yourself to get to the right places. You don't have to give up your joy, your truth, or your respect to walk through the right doors. With the right doors, you won't have to choose between being successful and being honest. Love and freedom. Between feeling like you fit and being real. Stretch, grow, and rise are what the right doors will ask of you. They will never ask you to shrink, lie, or give up on yourself. You will know when you walk through those doors. It will shake you to your core. When your soul meets your fate, you will feel a click. It will feel good to finally have your life in order. Until then, thank God the doors shut. May the dreams that died rest in peace. May the relationships that ended be blessed. Thank the no's that kept you from selling parts of yourself that you can't get back. Tonight, as you think about the heartaches you used to think were mistakes, remember this: life was never rejecting you. You were being sent back to your own home. You were being stopped from changing into a person who would have lived but not thrived. You were being kept safe so you could live the life you were meant to live. Realizing that closed doors are often deep acts of defense can help ease the anger you used to feel toward life. But there is still one more big step that few people are brave enough to take. It's the trust step. Not trust that is based on conditions or is easy to use. This is the kind of pure, bold faith that stays strong even when all the evidence points to giving up. You will find out tonight that when you choose to trust deeply, not blindly, but wisely, you start to open secret doors that would have stayed closed out of fear. You also start to attract unseen help that rushes toward you as soon as you stop fighting life and start dancing with it. Trust is not a sign of weakness. When everything goes wrong, trust is the most powerful thing you can use. It's not the passive giving up of a loser. Making the tough choice to trust that life is good, even when things seem bad, is what devotion is. If you want to have radical trust, you can't act like everything is fine. Putting down your fear or ignoring your sadness is not what it means. To carry your fear and sadness and still choose to move forward with an open heart is what it means. If you want to be open to the chance of a miracle, you have to be willing to cry when you need to. When you trust deeply, your energy changes how it moves through the world. It changes you from being resistant to being in balance. In an instant, it changes you from desperate to attractive. It changes you from trying out of fear to letting go out of your soul. Life will trust you back if you do. When you believe that even your failures are holy, you stop wasting time and energy fighting them. You begin to learn from them. Life stops being a battle and you start working with it. This change in energy lets you into rooms you couldn't get into before. It asks for help from places you could never have imagined. It brings allies, new ideas, and chances that seem to come out of nowhere. But they weren't by chance. After you crossed the gate of defeat, they were always waiting for you. True faith doesn't mean being sure of something. It's about being ready. The will to keep loving you even when you feel like no one is there for you. Being ready to keep giving gifts even when no one is responding. The determination to keep going even if the map falls apart in your hands. When things are going well, it's easy to trust. When you learn to trust even when things don't make sense, you'll feel truly free. When the job doesn't go through, as soon as the relationship stops, when the doctor gives the word, when the dream falls apart. At those times, faith is a lifeline to the deeper current of life that is still moving beneath the chaos, the stream that has never left you, the flow that kept you going even when you thought you were going down. Radical trust teaches you new ways to listen as well. You should stop asking for answers when you want them. You start to pick up on the small signs that life is always trying to tell you what to do. A quick thought, a dream that comes back, the surprising kindness of a stranger, the right page of a book falling open for you to read. You listen better when you trust someone. As you listen more deeply, you move with more grace. Don't force them. You must stop trying. There are beats that you haven't been aware of until you start dancing to them. You also change how you feel about time when you have radical trust. You need to stop thinking that delays mean no. You start to understand that divine timing is always at work, setting things up behind the scenes that you can't see yet. You no longer judge your success by how quickly things happen. Instead, you judge it by how true you stay to your innermost self. You understand that staying strong isn't always the best thing to do. One more day, keep your heart open, to breathe for one more night, to have faith one more time, because big steps forward often happen just as you were about to give up. Not because life was being mean to you, but because it takes time for some things to line up. Some things can't be rushed to ripen. Some kinds of healing need space. You stay soft in a rough world if you trust deeply. You stay open when it would be better to close. It keeps you open to surprises that come up out of the blue, even when things are going badly. And wonders do happen. Often at first in a quiet way, often hidden as everyday events. A talk that makes a new door appear. A chance meeting that changes your plans. A quick flash of clarity when you thought you were getting lost in the fog. Miracles don't get in the way of life's normal flow. They are the natural order that shows up when you become less resistant and more open. If you live your life with total trust, you make room for grace to come into it. As a result, the secret help systems that life has always wanted to send you, but couldn't because of your fear, become drawn to you. You start to understand that you're not by yourself, that hands you can't see have been leading you. There are helplines that are moving toward you as soon as you decide to go with the flow of life instead of fighting it. This doesn't mean you'll never fall again. It doesn't mean you'll never wonder again. It doesn't mean you'll never hurt again. It means you know where to stay put when it starts to storm. It means you know how to keep your balance when the ground moves. It means that you can heal your heart after it has been hurt. When the pages look torn, it means you know the story is still going on. Know this tonight as you sit with the places where trust feels the weakest. You don't have to trust perfectly. You only need to want to do it. Just slightly open the door. Life will come at you fast. You are not being told to act like you have no fears. You are being asked to trust even though you are scared. You don't need to understand everything. You are being asked to have faith that you will understand when you need to. You're not expected to be strong by yourself. They want you to trust that you will be helped by forces bigger and smarter than your own mind. Radical trust doesn't mean the end of the fight. It is the start of freedom in the midst of battle. It is the start of a life where even the bad times aren't lost, where even the losses are used to make offerings, and where even the waiting is a holy place where things can change. When you fully trust in life's secret goodness, the fear that used to guide your steps fades. But life has been leading you toward one more reveal all along. There is a greater truth behind every breakup, delay, and ending that you didn't expect. You will fully step into it tonight. You'll understand that every loss you've had wasn't meant to break you. Your identity, expectations, and illusions that didn't belong to you in the first place were meant to be peeled away. It was meant to bring you back to the person you were before everyone told you what kind of person you had to be to get love, safety, or a place to join. When you lose something that gave you a sense of security, it hurts like hell. Names, getting along, parts, dreams. Loss never takes away the truth of who you are, though. It takes off the masks you wore to stay alive. It takes down the walls you put up to feel important, accepted, and deserving. It cuts through the masks to show the wild, beautiful, and raw soul that has been there the whole time. Don't make the original self. It's already there. It's what you find when all the lies fall apart. It's the knowing that's quiet beneath the noise, the steady beat of the heart beneath the fear, the soft fire that can't be put out by sadness, rejection, or failure. Every breakup that ruined your plans was like a tool that helped you become the person you thought you needed to be. Every delay that made you feel bad about your pride was like sandpaper smoothing out the rough spots on your ego. For every mistake that tore your carefully crafted image apart, a door opened wide into the deeper parts of your true self. Loss feels like death at first. It is, in a way. It's the end of the fake self, the self built to get liked, the self built to keep from being abandoned, the self that was made to stay safe in a world that tells you to be afraid of your own truth. But after that death, something that can't be broken will rise again. Something that doesn't rise has nothing to show. Something that doesn't change with the times or what people think. Something that doesn't need proof to sell itself. The original self knows what it's worth without any outside proof. It knows where it belongs and doesn't need permission to do so. It doesn't need a map to figure out what it's supposed to do. You can feel it, right now, under the sadness, under all the chaos, because they are tired of trying so hard to be enough. The self that has always been enough can be felt as a faint beat. You don't need to get back to it. You just need to let go of things that were never really yours. The broken relationships were not a loss. They were a kindness. They cut you off from the links that supported your masks instead of your truth. The chances that were missed were not fails. They kept people safe. They got rid of the things that would have kept you from waking up and working. Dreams that came true were not curses. It was an offer. They pushed you out of the cages you thought were homes and into the wide-open areas of real becoming. It's not exciting to go back to your old self. It doesn't happen with a lot of fuss. It happens a lot in the dark, quiet hours, empty rooms, and when people are quietly grieving the loss of identities that were once very important to them. Once you sit with yourself long enough, you can hear the voice behind the noise. That voice that tells you that you are worthy even without the title. You are lovable even if you don't have a relationship. You're useful even if you don't come out on top. It happens when you don't rush to rebuild and instead learn to rest in the ruins until a stronger base forms. It happens when you stop seeing your life as a list of mistakes that you need to fix and start seeing it as a sacred story that is unfolding at just the right time to show what is true. The natural self doesn't mind when things end. It believes that real things can't be lost. It believes that the truth will always come back. It believes that every death is a doorway that goes to the heart of life. You don't need to look for love when you live from your true self. You turn into love. Don't look for a reason to live. You find your mission. No need to look for a place to join. You turn into a home inside yourself. This doesn't mean you stop being sad, though. That doesn't mean you stop missing the dreams that died. It means you learn how to deal with your sadness without getting lost in it. It means you learn to accept the pain without thinking it means you failed. Loss doesn't have to be a bad thing in your life. It can be a deeply good thing, an indication that you are being introduced into more truth, love, and freedom. The greatest freedom is going back to your original self. It frees you from the exhausting act of trying to be good enough. It frees you from the never-ending need to be liked, which never makes you happy. It frees you from the identity cages you used to think were your home. You're not here to fit someone else's idea of success. You're not here to have a life that looks good on the outside, but is empty on the inside. You're not here to become what other people want you to be. You came here to remember who you are, even though you have forgotten. You came into this world to live as yourself, which means being fierce, tender, and whole. You're here to love deeply, to make things from your true selves, to serve with all of yourself, to live because you are living. You will lose a lot of things if you go this way. You'll lose your dreams. False friends will leave you. You'll lose old versions of yourself that used to keep you safe, but now hold you back. The world can't give you or take away what you have left after you lose, though. It's the quiet strength of a soul that feels at home in its own skin. It's the deep happiness of living a true life. When you know you are exactly who you were meant to be, you feel great peace. Know this tonight as you sit with the ashes of what you've lost. You are not broken. You are being born again. You're not less than. You're becoming more real. You're not lost. You are making your way back home. Every broken heart took away what wasn't real. Every weight burned away what wasn't yours. Every failure took off the masks you had grown out of. You are now on the verge of living your true life, raw, tough, whole. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for coming home. You haven't failed. You have woken up, and the most beautiful, true, and wonderful parts of your journey are still to come. Thanks for going down this road. Thanks for sticking when you could have gone faster. Thank you for having faith when it would have been simpler to stay strong. The world needs you as you are. The world needs you to become more honest. The world needs the light you're about to give off. It's not over yet. This is the real start.